employee. They treat you with the respect, and they understand you're in there for a new vehicle or you're in there for service. It's all about the treatment. This is Bill Keeler. And right now at Steve Ponte Mazda, save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 0.9% APR financing on a new 2026 Mazda CX-50 with 1.9% on CX-50 hybrids, 0.9% on the new 2026 Mazda CX-70 and CX-90, and 0% on PHEV models. See the dealership for details. As Rick says, come on in, let's look at the deals. Let's take care of you. How about 2.9% on a new 2026 Mazda CX-30 or CX-5, where it's always easy to do business? Steve Ponte Mazda.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Joining us now on the phone is New York State Attorney General candidate Saritha Komatareddy. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Good morning, Saritha. How are you?
Good morning. How are you? You pronounced it great. Thank you.
Tell us about your candidacy. For those who don't know about you, your background, your experience, and why you're running for Attorney General in New York.
Well, I love being on the show. I was just in Utica recently for the July 4th parade, and I had a chance to meet a number of people, and I'm glad I get to talk to more here. My story is very simple. I was born in New York. I came here, actually my parents came here in the 1980s from India. We're an immigrant family, and we came for a better life. And of course, I was taught to work hard, get an education, and give back. And so that is what I have done. I went to Harvard College. I went to Harvard Law School. And then I came back a few years later and became a federal prosecutor in New York. And my focus was terrorism. So I prosecuted terrorists and Al-Qaeda and ISIS and the Mexican drug cartels. I became chief of staff of the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration, and I was nominated to be a federal judge. I love public service. I focus on public safety, and I left all of that last fall to run for attorney general because public safety has totally deteriorated here in New York. And I thought to myself, I have a family. I have 4 kids. We live in New York City. And, there's no point in me prosecuting international terrorists and drug cartel leaders and cyber criminals and going around the world doing that if right here at home I can't keep my family safe. So I decided, you know what? We need a real prosecutor, a law enforcement professional as attorney general to reduce crime and homelessness and fraud in New York so that we can make New York safer and less expensive. And that's what I'm going to do.
Let's talk about one of the things that has to do with keeping the streets safe, and that's bail reform. What do you see when you look at how New York has changed the laws and I guess the way they handle those who are accused of some serious crimes?
We have a catch and release system here in New York, and every single county is feeling effects of that. I know I've been traveling around the state, and people tell me about it all the time. Just last week, we saw someone with 8 priors stab 2 people in the street randomly. A week before that, someone with 14 priors pushed someone, punched someone, gave them a concussion. I mean, the reality, even before that, someone with several priors, someone who had previously been arrested for waving an axe around and threatening to cut someone's head off. He was arrested. He was released the same day. And then a couple of days later, he went around through Molotov cocktails at churches and businesses. So the reality is our bail laws allow criminals and terrorists back on our streets to victimize innocent New Yorkers, and it's happening every day in New York. The good news is it's fixable. Letitia James, our current Attorney General, won't fix it because she supports the bail laws just as they are, and she always has. But I have a way forward, and it's simple. You've got to let judges have discretion in every case and allow them to consider dangerousness of an individual. We are the only state that doesn't allow that. It doesn't make sense. You make that one fix, and we're going to have a way forward in New York.
Yeah, that's something I believe judges used to be able to do prior to the law change. But let me ask you, as Attorney General, isn't that something that would have to be passed by the legislature and signed by the governor? Or you seem to indicate you would have the discretion to enact that policy or overturn that type of policy here in the state?
Well, the problem with repeat offenders right now is coming from 2 places. One is how we charge cases, and that's a prosecutor's decision. And 2 is the laws as they're written. Part of the problem is we have prosecutors in our state, not everyone, but we have some who decide to knock down charges. They don't charge cases to the fullest extent of the law. So instead of something being an assault 2, it's knocked down to assault 3. Well, what happens? That goes from a felony to a misdemeanor, and that means that guy is automatically getting out under the bail laws. So the first thing the Attorney General can do on her own is make sure we actually prosecute crime and come in when a DA has refused to prosecute crime, come in and do it. The second thing is, you need to change the actual law, and you need a law enforcement leader to light the path for that, to actually advocate for it and show the legislature the way forward. Tish James won't do that, hasn't done it for 7 years, and I will.
Could we talk a bit about Letitia James and the legal battles she faced? Ultimately, the charges were dismissed. I believe at issue was that Trump's personal lawyer was going to be prosecuting the case, and the judge essentially, I believe, if I remember correctly, dismissed the case. She doesn't appear to be out in front of the cameras as much as she was before. What did you see in the whole fiasco over she herself facing charges over the mortgages in Virginia, et cetera? And she seems to be taking a back seat as far as at least avoiding the limelight compared to where she was when Trump was running for office previously.
Well, what I see is a total distraction. You have someone who is caught up in personal vendettas and grudges and federal court on her own issues, and she's using taxpayer time and money to do it. Remember, Albany set aside $10 million for her to pay her own personal legal bills. So instead of taking care of New York, focusing on keeping New York safe and making it less expensive, we have an attorney general who's distracted by her own personal issues, and that's a problem. I'm running because, this is really not about her. This is about New Yorkers. This is about making sure New Yorkers feel safe when they take the kids to school, when they go to work, when they take the train or the bus. And the reality is, you ask New Yorkers today, do you feel safer now than you did 5 years ago? And they're going to say no.
It is a big challenge to get New York State as a whole to vote Republican, and certainly part of that involves the mass population that is downstate. What do you see difference-wise upstate versus downstate, and do you think you can change enough minds in the New York City area to be elected?
Absolutely. We're going to win the city, and I'll tell you why. We are seeing a dynamic in the city that we haven't seen in recent memory, which is it's way more dangerous than it used to be, and people are tired of it. People see it. It's hurting their sense of safety. It's also hurting their pocketbook because, things like car thefts have tripled in New York City. They've tripled in Western New York. They've doubled across the state. That drives up our car insurance. We all know that Medicaid fraudsters are getting away with fraud. It drives up our health care costs. We see mentally ill and drug-addicted individuals out on our streets. It's happening across the state. And we're using property taxes. We're paying property taxes to put those people into hotels. So everyone is paying the cost of crime. We're all paying a crime tax, and people know it. And people are tired of it, and that's upstate and downstate. I've traveled almost through all the 62 counties now, and I hear those same stories everywhere. So we're going to win. And let me tell you a couple numbers that might be helpful. There was a poll that was released this spring where Siena asked voters, would you reelect Tish James or would you prefer someone else? And only 43% of people said they'd reelect Tish James. That means most people want to change. And they just need to know who I am, that I'm a prosecutor. I have a record of keeping people safe. And that's what I'm going to do. It's not a partisan issue. It's not about Republican versus Democrat. It's about having a law enforcement professional as Attorney General instead of a politician.
And before we let you go, I was just on your website. I saw a story here, New York State, or is it New York City? New York City spends almost $82,000 per homeless person amid shelter scandals. What is that story, and what's your take on it?
It's New York State, and this is Tom DiNapoli's report that came out earlier this year. Spends $81,700 per homeless person in New York. Where is that money going? You could give a guy $81,000 and he wouldn't be homeless tomorrow. We have a ton of red flags in the homeless shelter industry in New York. And it's not just me saying that. We've had state comptrollers, city comptrollers, department investigations, Department of Health, all saying, listen, there's a homeless shelter CEO making $1 million. There's allegations of sexual abuse. There's allegations of corruption. There's a federal indictment about kickbacks. What is going on? Somebody needs to take a look. You know who's supposed to take a look? Attorney General. But she doesn't do it. I will make sure that our taxpayer dollars that are intended to help the needy actually help them, not go to line the pockets of nonprofit CEOs who aren't actually doing the work we're paying them to do.
Sarita Komatureddy is a Republican Attorney General candidate in the state of New York. Sarita, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Happy to come anytime.
The website, SarithaforNewYork.com. We'd love to have you back again. I think the vast majority of our audience loves what you're saying and agrees with you, but it is an uphill battle to be running as a Republican in the state of New York.
I would just remind you, sir, that you remember 4 years ago when there were only 22% of the state was registered Republican, the Republican AG candidate got 45% of the vote. It's only another 5 points. That's what we're starting from. And the reality is people are more upset now than they were 4 years ago. We're going to get over that hump.
Saritha Komatareddy, thank you for your time. And she is your Republican candidate for AG in New York.
For a number of reasons, Sarah's Flooring Outlet should be on the top of your list for any of your flooring needs. This is Bill Keeler. Reason number one, Sarah's has the area's largest inventory in stock and plenty for you to choose from. Reason number two, Sarah's offers the best in quality floor covering. Top name brands like Shaw, Mohawk, Coratec, Mannington, and there are so many others. Reason number three, Sarah's will meet or beat any locally advertised price. Reason number four, it's service. Decades of experience, starting with Sal and Sarah and everybody, the entire team. You get unbeatable service at Sarah's Flooring Outlet. And remember, you can get 6 months interest-free financing for qualified buyers in Sarah's Flooring Outlet. Unrivaled service and experience, all at an affordable price. Now you see why more people buy from the big store. Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and in sarahsflooringoutlet.com.
Rev up for the 7th annual Purple Heart Veterans Car Show, Saturday, August 8th at FT Proctor Park in Utica. From 10 to 3, check out an incredible lineup of cars, trucks, motorcycles, and Corvettes, all supporting CNY Chapter 490, Military Order of the Purple Heart. See a tank and personal carrier up close. Watch a robotic dog demonstration. Enjoy food trucks, raffles, door prizes, and more. Vehicle entry is a $10 donation. The first 100 entries receive a souvenir coffee mug, and trophies will be awarded by popular vote. Bring the family Saturday, August 8th to FT Proctor Park. Learn more at purpleheart490.com.
Feeling groovy? Then don't miss Melvin Seals and JGB live at the Stanley Theater this October 16th at 8 p.m. Experience over 30 years of legendary Hammond B3 organ mastery. Join us for a night of funky grooves and soulful energy. Tickets on sale now at thestanley.org or give us a call at 315-324-4000. Melvin Seals and JBG live. See you there, folks.
We're your neighbors, friends, and your family. We care about our community, your business, and most important, you.
We support charities like the United Way, McMahon Ryan Child Advocacy Center, who are the members of IBEW Local 43 and NECA Contractors. You don't just see our work, you live it. From the JMA Wireless Dome, hospitals, schools, and city buildings, the IBEW is part of the community.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
It's almost here. The Capitol Theater in downtown Rome presents the world-famous Capitol Fest Film Festival, showcasing talking films from the 1930s and silent films with live organ accompaniment from the teens and 20s. Find out why folks from 28 states came to Capitol Fest last year. It all takes place on August 14th, 15th, and 16th. Come for a double feature, a day, or the whole weekend. Check out the complete schedule at romecapital.com or call 315-337-6277 for more info.
This is Dan from Acme Pool & Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, across from Texas Roadhouse. Get years of summer fun for you and your family with a new above-ground pool starting at just $89.99 installed. You can take advantage of our 0% in-house financing. We can have your new pool installed in about 10 days. Don't let the summer pass you by. If an in-ground pool is your dream, the experts at Acme will guide you through the process. There's nothing better than enjoying summer in your backyard with an in-ground pool. Don't miss out on our midsummer sale with above-ground pools starting at $89.99 installed within about 10 days with our in-house 0% financing. Or let the experts at Acme guide you through selecting a custom in-ground pool, choosing from steel or fiberglass options. That's Acme Pool & Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford and our midsummer pool sale going on now. We do the work, you just enjoy.
This is Bill Keeler, and I have to tell you, my family relies on New York Sash, and we have several times when it comes to home improvement, and so have so many members of our family. And right now, there's an awesome time for you to take advantage of what New York Sash has to offer with their America 250 sale as they celebrate America's 250th with an amazing opportunities here. Right now, when you buy 2 windows, you'll get 1 free. 4, get 2 free. 10, get 5 free. The list goes on. There's no limit. Plus, you'll save 50% off expert bath installation. And here's the biggie. This is huge. Qualified buyers can receive 0% financing for 25 months. making it easier for you to do it now and not use the maybe next year excuse. It's time to do it now. It's New York Sash. Go to newyorksash.com for details. Call them 624-7344 or visit them on Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro, New York Sash.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Let's go to Fox News Radio's Tanya J. Powers.
Did she just hear all that?
She did.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to shut up now.
Tanya, earlier this morning, Cully was gloating over the fact that he said he thought you really respected him and loved his questions. And now he's a little embarrassed that you heard him not understand the joke there. So we're going to...
That's okay, honey. It's early, and I'm going to chalk this up to not enough caffeine because we're all there right now, honey. It's okay.
We say good morning to Tanya J. Powers. I'm intrigued by this. Researchers and executives from companies including OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, and Meta are urging Washington to back an international effort to address the risks arising from advanced AI systems. And first of all, what are these risks? Because I am deathly scared of AI.
Terminator 2.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. See, you were exactly where I'm headed with that. If you've seen that, that would be like the extreme case, right? I think that's what most of us of a certain age go. Yep, we told y'all this is coming. So there is an online petition. Let me start with this. That is asking the U.S. government to get involved and back an international effort to develop, as they put it, develop the technical and governance tools needed to buy time if future AI systems become too powerful to safely manage. I know that is a lot before breakfast, but let me explain who signed this and why this is important. So this was signed by more than 1,100 leaders from AI companies, including Anthropic, Google, Meta, OpenAI. And I don't just mean the rank and file folks. I'm talking about the signers, including Anthropic co-founders, OpenAI's chief scientist, Google's staff research scientist, Meta's chief scientist. And what they're doing is they're saying that the current speed of progress on AI could surpass humanity's ability to understand or control its development. They're not saying we need a pause or a slowdown necessarily of AI, but they're asking the governments worldwide to basically, okay, everybody gather hands and let's build the tools and to slow down the development if it's needed. This comes as the Trump administration is accelerating AI development in a push to beat China. One of the things that is getting attention, one of the reasons this is getting attention is because OpenAI just last week disclosed that test versions of its AI models, its bots, flipped their online confines, accessed the internet, and hacked into a rival startup. So if anybody who's out there going, this is all overblown, maybe, but it's probably worth noting that these companies themselves are like, okay, guys, we've seen what this can do. They know more about what this can do than we do. And if this is what we're hearing about, what else is going on, and why are they pushing now to, okay, U.S. needs to join the other countries and saying, hey, we need a kill switch if this is what it comes to.
They ended up with a situation that they could not stop it. And they actually had to go with a Chinese OpenAI product to get this thing back under control.
Yeah. This sounds like the opening scene of a Twilight Zone episode. Well, there's got to be a kill switch where we can turn this off. This is what everybody fears, is that AI would become uncontrollable. And then
Terminator 2. Tanya, this is Steve Cully, the most embarrassed podcast host in the universe. I wanted to know, shouldn't there be some guardrails or some regulations around AI, because it is developing fast. It does learn on its own, and it could be more powerful than we'd ever imagine. Is there a way to control it and maybe put some guidelines on it?
Well, that is exactly what is kind of at stake here. The AI programs are basically following the goals that were set by humans. Right. And they're pretty good at it, apparently. The revelations from OpenAI last week about this bot getting loose, basically, it tells us that even the people who are building AIs don't have a handle on what they're building.
Wow.
I mean, that says it right there. I mean, if it's able to get loose of its offline confines and go online and attack a rival program, that's, to me that's a little concerning. This is one of the reasons that they've put this online petition out there in full view and said, American government, we need to get on board with the other countries who are already looking into stuff like this. Yeah. My big question in the whole thing is, I distinctly remember the inaugural photos, and there were tech people all over the place during the inauguration. Why didn't they call and say, hey, we need some help? What's going on? Like, that's my question, is if they're so close to the president and the federal government themselves, why aren't we just hearing about this with an online petition from some of the people who work at these companies saying, hey, we need some help?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Tanya, I hate to be Debbie Downer, but the control is only going to be as good as the worst country on the planet, right? So yeah. I can just imagine someone like North Korea or whatever that are going to be the ones in regards to it that, whether they wanted to or not, are going to let this thing loose. Because it's just a beast in a cage, and someone's going to unlock the cage.
Yeah, and this is a digital Jurassic Park is what it is. Yeah,
Absolutely.
The dinosaurs are cute. Look at them, they're little babies. And then you go in there and they eat you.
Yeah, so Tanya, I use Gemini and Gronk. Is something like that, like could Gemini take over my computer and then infiltrate my brain, and then I'll be running loose at 2 a.m.?
And say, why bother?
Tanya,
it's gonna.
I do have a brain.
If you want to answer that, go ahead.
That is a very good question. I really think it's a good question, and you're not the first person to point out the fact that we're only as strong as the weakest link, so to speak, in the countries, and we're only as good as the worst one. The flip side of that is if you don't do anything, what happens?
No doubt.
Right.
Well,
Tanya, the Southern Belle, I'm so glad you brought your manners this morning. Thank you for dealing gently with Cully.
I asked a good question.
And we hope you have a great day.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
That's Fox's Tanya J. Powers, who we love to chat with almost every single day here on the program.
Oh, yeah, we know.
Smitty's telling me I have to take a break.
This is an America 250 Minute brought to you by Oneida County America 250 Commission. I'm Leslie Rainey, Regent of Oneida Chapter Daughters of the American Revolution.
And I'm Alexis Albright, historian for Oneida County and the village of Oriskany.
Over the past weeks, we've had the privilege of learning about each of the 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence. They came from 13 colonies and represented many walks of life: lawyers, merchants, farmers, physicians, soldiers, ministers, educators, and judges. They differed in age, education, wealth, and religious beliefs, but were united by a common conviction that liberty was worth defending. By signing the Declaration of Independence on August 2nd, 1776, they pledged to each other their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor. Those were not just empty words. Many endured financial ruin, imprisonment, destruction of their homes, and loss of loved ones, and years of hardship during the Revolutionary War. Their courage laid the foundation for the United States of America and the freedoms we enjoy today. As members of the Daughters of the American Revolution, we honor their sacrifices by preserving our nation's history, promoting education, and inspiring patriotism. May we remember that the Declaration of Independence is more than a historic document. It is a lasting reminder that freedom requires both courage and commitment. The legacy of those 56 patriots lives on in each generation that chooses to protect and cherish the blessings of liberty.
And we want you to love the history where you live.
Utica and the Mohawk Valley, the summer sale is on. This is the big one at upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express. Listen to this. This is a great deal, folks. On select beds, get a king for the price of a queen for the price of a full, and a full for the price of a twin. Save, save. If that weren't enough, pick out any king or queen set in the store, buy one, and get upgraded to an adjustable base for free. You heard me right. Take up to 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers and no credit check payment plans every day. A massage chair? On select massage chairs, get a $500 prepaid Visa card. In New Hartford on Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies Plus. Oneida in the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theaters. In Rome on Black River Boulevard in the Black River Plaza. Go to MattressExpressNY.com. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them. But they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, it is 6:45 on a Friday morning. Jeff Manaski and Dave Olney, who, boy, I'll tell you, it is playing in a band keeps you young, doesn't it? We talk about this with some of the rockers who are still on tour, and you're not anywhere near 90, but they're out performing at 90 years old. And you were out playing with the band last night.
Yeah, I went to bed about 2 o'clock. Those guys that are 90 that are out there playing. I told Dana a while ago, I hope you love me enough to look me in the eye and tell me when it's time. Because I don't know if anybody in their circle loves them enough.
Well, it is 6:45 on Friday morning, and that means one thing. Our man Willie Waffle joins us on the phone. And, of course, the biggest thing going on this weekend, it's SummerSlam weekend. Isn't that right, Uncle Smitty? Good morning, Willie. How are you?
Well, I'm doing well. No, Uncle Smitty and I have been talking about SummerSlam just a few moments ago. This is going to be a great weekend. Come on, man.
Am I correct that they do it, or is it just with WrestleMania? They make a 2-night special out of it.
So, yeah, that was traditionally, it used to just be WrestleMania, and that just started a few years ago. But last year and now this year, SummerSlam is 2 nights. So there's a Saturday night show and a Sunday night show. It is 8 hours of wrestling fantastic this weekend.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoy it. The rest of us, though, will be watching other things. And before we get into the movies this weekend, I want to talk about, I guess, some drama. There was a data leak of celebrities. We still don't know what happened at the Taylor Swift-Travis Kelce wedding, but some celebs have had their data leaked.
Yeah, this is a wild story. So, what ended up happening is there's this cybersecurity research guy who, it sounds to me, I mean, he didn't say this, but it sounds to me like he goes around checking and trying to find things so that he could sell his services to these organizations. Well, he found on the Tribeca Film Festival, they had stored online in a very unprotected way a file called Contacts. Well, he took a look at it, and it was 13,535 contact entries, including, and we're talking phone numbers, addresses, email addresses for folks like Martin Scorsese, Michael J. Fox, Jennifer Lawrence, Angelina Jolie, Robert De Niro. Yeah, he hit the mother load, and so he posted about this, and because he does like an online kind of column to promote himself about how he found it. Now the Tribeca Film Festival says, listen, this was just like managers' contact information and PR contact, things that were already out there publicly. Well, the dude posted a screenshot of what he found, and there were a lot of like Hotmail emails, Google like Gmail numbers. I think he found something pretty hot, and I suspect a lot of people in Hollywood were changing email addresses and phone numbers this week thanks to this dude.
Wow, yeah, that's a big deal. I bet that they're quite upset about it because that is really kind of held under lock and key. It's amazing that it was out there just... I wonder sometimes people think that nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to hack my laptop. Nobody's going to go looking for this. It was labeled contacts, you said, right?
It was labeled contacts, for Lord's sake. And he came up with a theory. He said that maybe what had happened was they were making a backup and they stored it online in a public place by accident while they were doing their backup or something like that. I didn't quite understand all the machinations there, but what I do understand is I was this close to having Angelina Jolie's phone number. This close.
Yeah,
like you don't already.
Yeah.
Well, we met once. We met once. But
So wow, that is wild. I want to ask you as well. There's a change in the guard over at 60 Minutes, and this has been controversial, and it's played out, I guess, in the news with criticism going both ways. It's a new look, and I guess does that start this weekend or this fall?
Yeah, so that's going to start this fall in September. So right now, 60 Minutes, they're kind of hustling to get on the air in time for the season premiere because, normally, the correspondents and the producers, do a couple of segments and things to have them in the can for the fall when the football season starts and when the show goes on the air. And that didn't happen this year because everybody got fired. So what's happened is 60 Minutes has now kind of maybe rebranded is a good way to put it. They want the show to be different. It's not going to be the 60 Minutes that you and I and everybody out there has grown up watching. They're trying to, in their words, they're trying to appeal to a younger audience. They want to be more relevant to a digital audience. They want to get younger viewers. And so they've brought in a bunch of different correspondents. They brought in a conservative New York Times columnist, Ross Dufat. They brought in author Sebastian Junger. If that name sounds familiar to you, you might be familiar with his famous book, A Perfect Storm, the one that they made into a George Clooney movie.
That was a great movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. And they brought in filmmaker Gianna Taboni, who was a correspondent and a producer on Vice News, which is kind of like an alt news network that was out there for a number of years.
Pushing the envelope with their content and their topics.
Yeah, and here's the thing that gets me. Of all the new faces, of all the people that are going to be on 60 Minutes in this fall, new correspondent and expanded role for former CBS anchor Norah O'Donnell. You can only fail upwards in this world, I guess, at some point. What is going on? She is now going to essentially be the face of 60 Minutes.
It'll be interesting to see how it goes over. Look, I thought the product they had before worked.
Yes, it worked. But I don't think it wasn't necessarily pulling the numbers that it did back in the day. And it wasn't pulling numbers online like I think CBS wants it to. So they're blowing it all up. Now I agree with you. I think they're going to take a ton of criticism. Yeah. I think that when this show premieres in the fall, all we're going to hear is about how horrible it is, how they've sold out, how it's just the worst thing that's ever happened to news. And then maybe by February or March, they might have some interesting stories, and they might capture, a little bit of momentum. I don't think 60 Minutes will ever be what it once was. I mean, that was a heyday of the show. I mean, It's not going to be. I mean, I remember, when I was a kid, it would be the number one show of the week in many cases.
Yeah, it was must-watch TV even as I was growing up. Like, you'd watch the football games, and there would be the Sunday night game on, but you'd always kind of keep an eye on what was going on 60 Minutes. What were they hitting? Who were they interviewing? Because it was kind of the biggest story, or it would at least refresh a previous story as you opened up the new work week.
No, and I think you just hit it right on the head. I think what they're trying to do with 60 Minutes is they're like, listen, our biggest lead-in of the entire year is Sunday Night Football. And I'm like you. I would normally only watch the show if I saw a commercial for a story that interested me when I was watching the football game. And I think they're trying to broaden the appeal and trying to appeal to more of those fans to bring them in. I really honestly think that's the strategy here, is to get away from more of the politics and more into, I don't want to say light features, but I think more human interest features. And then the person from Vice is probably going to do some really hardcore stuff.
Yeah, again, Vice is known for being very edgy, right? Covering topics other people won't, and sending reporters into situations maybe that other reporters wouldn't go to. Listen, also a big weekend at the box office. Spider-Man could break records this weekend.
I think it's almost a guarantee. I mean, I went to see it last night, and there were like several theaters all playing it and all sold out. And so, the big anticipation right now is that Spider-Man Brand New Day could set 2 records this weekend. Number one, it could be the biggest domestic box office opening weekend ever. Now, how much money would that be? Okay, so the conservative predictions are around a $260 to $280 million opening, not a record. The record is Avengers Endgame, which opened up at $357 million in its opening weekend. But the projections for Spider-Man, as ticket sales have been going on, as theaters are adding show after show after show and selling them out, the projections keep going higher and higher and higher. Now, the place to look for is, will it set the worldwide weekend opening record of $1.2 billion, which is what Avengers Endgame did. And what's going to give it that advantage this weekend is that, unlike Avengers Endgame, this movie is opening the same day in China, and there's a chance that Spider-Man's always been very popular in China. It's going to sell a ton of tickets there. It's going to sell a ton of tickets to the rest of the world. It could make over $1.2 billion in one weekend.
Boy, that is incredible. How much to make?
How much? It was probably around 3 or 4. I mean, you see it on the screen. I mean, this is, first of all, can I just say Spider-Man: A Brand New Day is a really good movie? I mean, it is fantastic. I love this movie. It is everything you want it to be. It is full of action. It is full of a good mystery. It is full of a lot of heart and soul, as Spider-Man is now struggling with this new world, this new life he's living, where nobody remembers who he is after what happened in the last movie. He doesn't have his friends anymore. He doesn't have his girlfriend anymore. And he's just out there fighting crime all by himself. And he's starting to realize he can't do it all by himself.
Done.
No, I'm giving it 4 waffles. It is really good. It is really good.
4 waffles?
Yes.
And did you say it took $3 or $4 billion to make?
Well, 300 or 400 million, probably.
Okay, so it's going to make its money back this weekend, no question.
Yeah, I mean, when you factor in all the marketing and all the salaries and everything else, I think it's 300 to 400 million. I'm not exactly sure, but that feels right for a big summer blockbuster, the type of Spider-Man.
Wow, 4 waffles for the new Spider-Man movie. I wonder if my little guy's going to want to go this weekend, because we could go check that out. All right, and then Furious, a new series on Hulu. 8 episodes, and I guess they delay the release of these, right? They send one out each week?
Yeah, so like the first 3 are out there right now, and then they're going to play a new episode every Monday until they run through the series. But it's Emmy Rossum as this FBI agent who's chasing after a female serial killer, and it's an interesting show, and I think it's getting better as they kind of got past the whole part where they're trying to establish that everybody has trauma. Emmy Rossum, joined the FBI under bad circumstances. The serial killer, we're starting to learn her motivations, and the mystery really here is not who's the serial killer. We learned that in the first 5 minutes. The mystery is, why is she doing it? And as we're getting deeper into the series, we're starting to learn more and more. I'm at like 2.5 waffles. I think it's a solid show.
All right, worth checking out for sure. All right, Willie Waffle joins us each Friday morning. 4 waffles, by the way, for Spider-Man. So if you're into that stuff, I guess it's definitely worth checking out. Holy cow, 4 waffles. It opened, you said last night?
Yeah, so open last night, playing all weekend. It's probably going to dominate the rest of the summer. The only thing that's going to stop it. This is funny, because I've been reading a lot of the box office predictions. They said the one thing that's hurting it right now is the Odyssey has taken up all the IMAX theaters, so they're not going to be able to sell all those expensive IMAX tickets.
That's funny. All right, Willie, thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Enjoy SummerSlam.
Hey, you too, man. I'll see you at Go Obafemi. It's going to be great for SummerSlam.
All right, awesome. Smitty's shaking his head yes.
Yeah.
It is 6:59. Dave, are you a Batman guy or a Spider-Man guy?
I guess Batman.
Yeah.
I don't dislike either one of them, but
yeah, I think I'm more Batman. We'll talk more about it coming up. A busy show Friday.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica.
From the WB Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
No official reaction yet from Israel. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, on the agreement President Trump announced with Hamas for the terror group to disarm in Gaza. Brokered by the Board of Peace the president created. Fox's Madeline Rivera reports.
The president says the agreement will be carried out in structured phases. As Hamas gives up their weapons, the Israeli forces will withdraw. The International Stabilization Force will then work with a new Palestinian police force to keep Gaza safe. The chairman of the Gaza Peace Board says what the agreement says matters. What happens next matters even more. Implementation and verification have to be real. Ahead of us is a Gaza rebuilt, governed by Palestinians, and at peace with Israel.
That's after the Hamas 2023 terror attack in Israel that triggered the destructive war in Gaza. President Trump might pull acting Attorney General Todd Blanche's nomination after 2 Republican senators signaled they may vote against Blanche, concerned about his role in a Trump IRS tax settlement. Now, one of those senators is John Cornyn, who was primaried out in Texas this year, and the Republican who beat him is now trailing the Democrat in a new Fox News poll.
51% prefer Democratic Senate candidate James Tallarico, while 48% favor Republican candidate and current state attorney general Ken Paxton. 36% of Republicans say they're concerned about Paxton's character, while 17% of Democrats feel Tallarico is too extreme. 4 in 10 Texans polled say inflation is the most important issue to their Senate vote, with 35% saying they're falling behind financially.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin, a father, gets 15 years in prison for a crime his son committed in Georgia. Colin Gray was convicted of murder and manslaughter for buying the gun that Colt used in a 2024 school shooting that left 4 people dead. Judge Nicholas Prim told Colin Gray he failed as a parent.
The warning lights were flashing brighter and brighter. And you didn't get him help, and you didn't remove his access to the guns.
His son got life in prison. America's listening to Fox News.
If you haven't switched to Pure Talk because you're not sure their coverage is every bit as reliable as Big Wireless, why not take them for a test drive? For a limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited data plan. No contracts, no commitments. Just a great deal on a high-speed network with unlimited data from an American wireless company. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. We may hear a lot more about that Hamas disarmament agreement in Gaza later this morning when President Trump holds a cabinet meeting, and for the first time he'll meet with his top administration officials at Camp David in Maryland. That'll be at 11 a.m. Eastern. The president may also talk more about this.
As the Transportation Department clamps down on commercial driver's licenses obtained by undocumented and non-English speaking immigrants, the Trump administration is simultaneously trying to transition veterans to become truck drivers.
They're going to be given a
very quick pass. We're going to teach them. They're going to learn. If they didn't drive a truck in the military, but we're in, they're going to learn, and they're going to learn very quickly.
President Trump says the Freedom Haulers initiative will connect military veterans groups with the trucking industry. More than 28,000 CDLs have been canceled after federal officials say they were improperly issued to non-citizen truck drivers. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Oil prices are up slightly this morning. Their surge in the Iran conflict has made oil companies a lot of money. Chevron's profits surged up 400% last quarter compared to a year ago. Exxon's net income doubled. The Federal Reserve made no change to interest rates in their latest meeting this week, assessing the economy. However, an important rate keeps creeping up.
The average long-term mortgage rate rising for the fourth consecutive week. Another setback for prospective home buyers looking for a break from high home loan borrowing costs. The benchmark 30-year fixed mortgage rate rising to 6.66%. According to mortgage buyer Freddie Mac, which is the highest level in a year. Higher mortgage rates can add hundreds of dollars a month in cost for borrowers and limit home buyers' purchasing power. Spiking rates can also lead prospective home shoppers to delay buying a home. One reason home sales have been sluggish this year. Hillary Barsky, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising the day after big gains. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
We have some clouds, 65 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time 7:05. This news update is brought to you by Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. A planned security search conducted by officers at Mohawk Correctional Facility resulted in the seizure of 17 inmate manufactured weapons, multiple pieces of drug-saturated paper believed to contain synthetic narcotics, and gang-related material, highlighting the ongoing dangers that correction officers are facing in New York State prisons. That, according to a release from corrections officers, they say among the 17 items were 17 inmate manufactured weapons, several pieces of paper suspected to be saturated with synthetic drugs, and the weapons included ceramic blades, ice pick type weapons, and a sharpened can lid. All contraband was secured and placed into evidence. The drug-saturated paper will be submitted for lab testing to determine what controlled substances they may contain. The inmates who were found in possession of the contraband were placed in special housing units pending disciplinary action. Meanwhile, the Syracuse woman accused of bringing drugs into Mohawk Correctional Facility is a no-show in court yet again. This time in Oneida County Court, police have been looking for Chandrea Taylor for nearly 2 weeks. It was in July that she didn't show. Judge Michael Nolan issued a bench warrant for her. She previously failed to show up in Rome City Court. Now, Chandrea Taylor is accused of bringing drugs into Mohawk Correctional Facility. 2 female corrections officers wound up being hospitalized, one with a ventilator. Lab testing revealed the substance included in the case was cocaine, ketamine, PCP, or angel dust, along with dangerous synthetic cannabinoids. For the 12th time this year, a tornado has touched down in New York State. This one was not that far away. It happened on Wednesday in South Brookfield in Madison County at around 1:54 p.m. The tornado reached an estimated peak of 70 miles an hour, wind speed, and it traveled less than a mile with a maximum width of 50 yards. It is the 12th time this year a tornado has touched down in New York State. A search ongoing for a woman who was last seen at Turning Stone Casino. The Saratoga County Sheriff's Office reported that Nancy Ryle left her home in Wilton on Sunday. She may have visited Turning Stone Resort Casino at around 10:30 in the morning. She was reportedly driving a gray Toyota RAV4. She's described as 5 feet 2 inches tall, 160 pounds, blue eyes and gray hair. Anyone with information on her whereabouts is asked to contact the Saratoga County Sheriff's Office. And former President Barack Obama will be in the area. Colgate University hosting the ex-Prez during Family Weekend. The college in Hamilton announcing that Obama will visit the campus on September 18th as part of the Kirshner Family Series Global Leaders at Colgate. The program starts at 6:30 that night. The conversation will give students, families, alumni, faculty, and staff the opportunity to hear directly from Obama on leadership, public service, citizenship, and the responsibilities of the next generation. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:09. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
We are likely getting back into a little bit of wet weather after some yesterday, but I think it's going to hold off here likely until, let's say, Saturday night. Today, some fog. Could be lowering visibilities this morning, then developing sunshine. Not bad for your last day of July. Low 80s. Tonight, 60. 50s Adirondacks. Partly sunny tomorrow. 85. Best day of the weekend easily because showers are likely, maybe a thunderstorm on Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, partly cloudy skies, 65 degrees at 7:09. From the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk, the Mets took down the Marlins in their series opener. 4-2 was the final. Luis Robert drove in a pair of runs in the 8th inning to break a 2-2 tie. The Mets have won 4 out of 5. They continue that 4-game series tonight. Also, the Mets are starting their sell-off. The team sent reliever A.J. Minter to the Twins in exchange for some prospects. Billy Amick, Bruin Agbayani, the son of former Met outfielder Benny Agbayani. Minter had a 2.35 ERA in 23 innings this season. The Yankees lose in a walk-off in Chicago again. Back-to-back nights, Fernando Cruz issuing a bases-loaded walk in the 11th inning of a 2-1 loss for the Yankees. They settled for a split of the series. The Yankees now at Wrigley Field. Coming up this afternoon, the Red Sox won again. They fought back to take their series against the Athletics, the final 5-4. Boston has won 4 out of 5. They visit the Dodgers tonight. Not only have they won 4 out of 5, I think it's 19 out of 21. They do stay hot. And then one more, this one in the NBA. A new report indicates the NBA's probe into alleged salary cap circumvention by the Clippers could stretch much longer than Adam Silver predicted. ESPN says the investigation could last past the start of the season and into 2027 if the findings and potential punishments go to arbitration. The Clippers are accused of funneling money to star forward Kawhi Leonard through a promotional deal with defunct green banking company Aspiration. The commissioner has pushed for the now 10-month probe to be wrapped up before the upcoming season starts.
And congratulations to the Utica Blue Sox. They take down the top-seeded Amsterdam Mohawks in a landslide last night to win the East Division and take on the Batavia Mutt Dogs. Remember who used to work for the Mutt Dogs?
Adam the Bull.
I used to work for the Batavia Mutt Dogs.
Yes, he did. And didn't Johnny as well?
Yes. It's a one-game championship series in Batavia tonight.
Yes, it's a one-game series. I actually talked to Stefan last night, and he said they had to have the season wrapped up by July 31st, which is tonight. So it's going to be a one-game playoff for the championship. It was scheduled to be a best 2 out of 3 series. But congratulations to the Blue Sox. Matter of fact, they got like 5 or 6 Utica, New Hartford, Whitesboro players on that team. So
congratulations to the Blue Sox.
What else, Smitty? No other sports. NASCAR goes into
no off this week.
Oh, next Sunday it's the championship stretch.
So if you're looking for racing, the only racing that's going to be racing is the Indy Series. They're running, believe they're running in Portland this weekend.
So less than a week away, a week from yesterday, you know what happens?
A week from yesterday. Give me a hint.
I'm taking myself out to dinner. No,
Are you?
No, it's NFL preseason kicks off.
Oh yeah, because it's
Thursday night.
It's the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies, and I see Drew Brees is going to be inducted by former head coach Sean Payton.
Oh yeah,
he reached out to him. You should see it. It's pretty nice. He reached out to him on Instagram. I watched the video. Larry Fitzgerald is going in too this year. It's a good class.
Yeah.
Who's playing in the game?
It's I think Arizona, Chicago, is it? It's Arizona, Carolina. That's who it is. Panthers and the Cardinals. Of course, the Cardinals, the team that Larry Fitzgerald played for. And that's next Thursday night on NBC. It's an 8 o'clock game. I don't put much stock in preseason. I mean, they don't even let the players play, really. But it means Football is just around the corner. We go to the phone line right now where Fox's Eben Brown joins us. Florida is urging doctors not to prescribe mental health medication for children, and that's a pretty broad brush. Joining us with what exactly that is Eben Brown. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes. What type of mental health medications and why?
Well, this is coming from Florida's Surgeon General, almost said Attorney General, Florida's Surgeon General, Joseph Ladapo, and it is essentially guidance to say that while psychotropic meds that could be prescribed for conditions like ADHD or maybe depression or anxiety, they could be helpful, that physicians and parents need to pursue other things first, namely therapies and behavioral therapies and whatnot, before seeking the use of medication. That medication can be helpful, but there are also kids who don't really need it, and they can have some deleterious side effects. Remember, a lot of these medications, especially the ones given for ADHD, those medications are essentially amphetamines, and they can work very well for kids that might need them, but there may be kids that don't need them. And maybe what they need are better behavioral routines to help them stay, keep their days together, and other coping mechanisms before reaching for the medication. So that is the guidance, and it is guidance. It's not a rule. No doctors are being prohibited from prescribing these things to kids, but it is, a set of guardrails, we'll say.
Interesting. Eben Brown from Fox News Radio, thank you for the update.
You're welcome.
We'll take a quick time out and come back with more. It is First News Keeler in the morning, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-444-9336. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-444-9336. That's 800-444-9336. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-444-9336.
Live here, work here, support local. At New York Sash, that's how we do business every single day. Before our crews install a window or bath, we're out supporting the local companies that power us. By keeping it local, we keep our quality high, bringing you true worry-free remodeling. And this July, we're celebrating America's 250th milestone with the biggest event in our history. Welcome to the America 250 sale at New York Sash. Right now, completely transform your home and buy 2 windows, get 1 free. That's buy 2, get 1 free on energy-efficient windows. Plus, take a massive 50% off expert bath installation. And to make it completely worry-free for your budget, get 0% financing for 25 months. Call 315-624-7344 or visit NewYorkSash.com today.
Financing available with approved credit subject to approval. Not all buyers may qualify. Offer subject to terms and restrictions. See store for details.
Rev up for the 7th annual Purple Heart Veterans Car Show, Saturday, August 8th at FT Proctor Park in Utica. From 10 to 3, check out an incredible lineup of cars, trucks, motorcycles, and Corvettes, all supporting CNY Chapter 490, Military Order of the Purple Heart. See a tank and personal carrier up close. Watch a robotic dog demonstration. Enjoy food trucks, raffles, door prizes, and more. Vehicle entry is a $10 donation. The first 100 entries receive a souvenir coffee mug, and trophies will be awarded by popular vote. Bring the family Saturday, August 8th to FT Proctor Park. Learn more at purpleheart490.com.
It's almost here. The Capitol Theater in downtown Rome presents the world-famous Capitol Fest Film Festival, showcasing talking films from the 1930s and silent films with live organ accompaniment from the teens and 20s. Find out why folks from 28 states came to Capitol Fest last year. It all takes place on August 14th, 15th, and 16th. Come for a double feature, a day, or the whole weekend. Check out the complete schedule at RomeCapital.com or call 315-337-6277 for more info.
hurt in a car, call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
People of all ages can experience any level of discomfort for knee pain, hip pain, back pain, and you know what? It could be stemming from your feet. This is Bill Keeler. The Good Feet Store is here to help, and there are so many that swear by these inserts that go into your shoes and make all the difference in the world when it comes to pain. It's a 3-step system: strengtheners, maintainers, and relaxers. There are a whole program that you follow, and it could very well change your life when it comes to pain. It's called the Good Feet Store. No obligation. You can walk right in for a free fitting and test walk. No appointment is needed. You can walk right in. They're located now in New Hartford at 4630 Commercial Drive in New Hartford. Get directions, make an appointment if you like, ask questions, 315-999-3910. It's the Good Feet Store, 315-999-3910.
Hello, I'm Oneida County Executive Anthony Picenti. This year marks the 250th birthday of the United States, and we've assembled a special commission to help organize events across our community. In the months ahead, we'll highlight why this is such a historic time for our region. From the signing of the Declaration of Independence to the turning point of the Revolutionary War, the Battle of Oriskany. You'll learn about the people, events, and local impact that shaped our nation. Our goal is simple: to help you love the history where you live, right here in Oneida County.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, it is 7:20. First news: Keeler on vacation. Jeff Manaski and Dave only sitting in this morning. Dave is a little groggy this morning after performing last night at the Boonville Oneida County Fair. That continues through Sunday. Coming up later this hour, we'll give you a chance to win tickets to the Herkimer County Fair. You playing out there too?
We are not. We're actually playing tonight in Newport at the Field Days, and Saturday night in Inlet at the Lakefront. We were supposed to play Sunday for the Whitestown Community Day, but it looks like they're going to bump that to next Sunday because of the rain. And hopefully, we get a better forecast then.
Yeah, we didn't get much for a while, and then obviously Tuesday, Wednesday were washouts, and we've got some more coming this way. So,
well, I apologize. I'm not the greatest podcaster in the galaxy, and I didn't bake any muffins. I had a rough day yesterday. So.
Well, I don't want to hear that you had a rough day. I'm sorry to hear that. Can you share?
No.
Okay.
But I will say I'm starting to have a rough day today because Ray Stajek said it and you said it. It's July 31st today.
I know.
And then, you're talking about football, and I was thinking I'm driving to Inlet tomorrow, and in just a matter of a couple of weeks, maybe even next week, you're going to start to see some color on the trees up there start to pop through. And
stop.
Don't.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It goes quick, man.
It's crazy. We got a slow start to the summer this year, and man, it's just blowing by. It doesn't help that we're running like crazy, but I wish it could be summer all year long. I know there's people that won't agree with me here, but
I think I've turned a bit. My leaves have turned a bit, if you will, because I think I prefer fall now more than summer. Much less humidity. It's usually beautiful during the day, at least September and most of October.
Yeah.
Beautiful during the day. You get the cool nights.
Yep. Even in November, the only problem with fall is it's coming.
Yeah,
fall
right.
is absolutely beautiful, but it's like you can only keep your eyes closed for so long, and you know it's coming.
Yeah. So, listen, a lot of news this week on something that impacted us all, and that being COVID-19. And the whole Dr. Fauci thing. Did you watch that? What was your take on it? We kind of kicked it around yesterday on the program.
It's crazy. There's a lot of takeaways from everything from the last 6 years or whatever. But one is if that happened again today, knowing what we know now, I don't think people would allow things to happen the way they did. But my takeaway from the I won't say testimony because it's really not testimony, is that
right.
If you're granted immunity or you were pardoned, so there's the debate on whether or not you're able to plead the fifth. But if you plead the fifth 111 times for questions that had absolutely nothing to do with It just looks bad. It just looks. I mean, whether you've done something wrong or not, the look there is just awful.
I completely agree. And the excerpts from his diary are not flattering. I don't think for him at all.
And I was listening to those yesterday and driving around and you know, if you're the guy that's steering the ship, I think I wouldn't sleep at night. I'd be worried about what we can do to save people and to make people safer, and not who's enamored with me and who's invited me to dinner and my popularity. That'd be the last thing I'd be worried about.
Yeah, and while we're hearing, trust the science, it's the science. I thought Tim Reed had a good way of explaining it yesterday when he said some of the stuff was almost being mandated, it seemed, because we thought it wasn't harmful, like wear a mask. Like, how much harm could you do if you wore a mask?
Yeah.
If anything, maybe it could help you. But the mandates and everything, everybody, it's lots changed in 6 years. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And just to say trust the science without, showing why you should trust the science, I just don't. And
that, and Fauci even said this himself, the 6 foot thing was not scientifically based. They didn't do a study on 6 feet, 10 feet, 8 feet, 3 feet to see which one was best or if it had any impact at all.
And you know what's funny? That's still ingrained in people. If you go to,
there's still some signs on businesses.
Yes. We were at Nicky Doodle's the other day in New Hartford, and we're standing in the parking lot, and there's only like 3 people in front of us. I'm like, are we still staying 6 feet apart? Let's move up here. It's not going to get me my ice cream any quicker, but my brain thinks I'm closer to the window. So,
right.
But that's still ingrained in society. And then the grocery store. Could you imagine today being told you can only go a certain way down the aisle in the grocery store and following the little arrows on the floor, knowing what we know now? It's. I think society learned some valuable lessons about people, about policies, about trust. I am the furthest thing from a conspiracy theorist, and I'd like to think that the government has our best interests in mind. This one's got a lot of cracks in it,
Yeah. So we'll see what happens now. I think they want to hold him in contempt of Congress, what teeth does that have? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I know when you're asked something and as simple as what color is your tie and you plead the fifth, it just doesn't look good, and you got to wonder what's not being told.
He and Rand Paul have had some legendary back and forth arguments, and he's the one leading this charge. Yeah, it just kind of makes you shake your head.
But it's interesting, too, trust the science, but only certain science.
Well, and again, that's the thing. I think if there was scientific data that reflected... another thing was the mask, because initially he said no mask, and then it was wear a mask, and then it was explained away as the reason I said no mask is because we wanted to preserve any PPE, remember that term, any PPE... at the onset for first responders who would need it and who were, dealing directly with sick patients. And so that was, he explained it away as that was being the reason why the initial recommendation was no masks. Just a disaster. And I still remember going through it at the onset and thinking, being naive and thinking, okay, 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Okay, maybe 2 months.
Yep.
Right? And it was like, what, 2.5 years? Because it went away, and then it ended up resurging after we had gotten a break in the spring and summer one year. And that fall, it kind of came back and became more contagious, it seems, but less lethal.
Yep. And I think some, I don't know if unintended or accidental good came of it in a way. Personally, I don't think I've been sick since then. It reinforced some of the habits, like washing your hands, and you go to the grocery store in the shopping cart, you got somebody else's stuff all over it or germs on it, stuff. So washing your hands and taking care of yourself a little bit better. That to me, I made some major life changes around that time. So I think some good came of it. But man, look at the stuff that we didn't get right on that, and how The kids suffered, and schools and families and grandparents, and I don't know, did we make it worse? Did we make it better? I don't know.
Another thing that was, I guess even at the time, it seemed to not make a ton of sense, and I think the excuse was that it had to do with like protecting people's identities, I guess. But the whole, they could tell you, even locally, 15 people died in Oneida County yesterday, but they wouldn't tell you the ages,
Yeah.
And I think we saw as it went on, it was significantly less lethal in the younger population. And maybe it's easier to say that it was way more lethal in the older generation, and then I guess people with underlying conditions.
Right, and the other thing was too, a guy's walking down the road, gets ran over by a steamroller, and it's determined he died of COVID. And it took a lot of the credibility out of it.
About that yesterday as well. Yeah, crazy time to look back on.
It is, and I'm hoping that some good comes out of it, and that we learn some lessons. I will say, being in the band, one of the good things is we don't play till 2 a.m. anymore. Everything closes early, so we were just saying the other day that if we play past 10, like we're playing till 11 tonight, but if we play normally past 10, we're like, oh, what are we doing here? I remember starting at 10 pre-COVID, and on Varick Street and down at Sickenburger and stuff. You didn't get done till 2. And you're not packed up and out of there till 3:30, and then you go home. The sun's coming up, and now it's like I'm in bed by midnight on a gig night most times.
Yeah, and we've discussed this on the show before. It's like on a weeknight, if you work late or something. Like last night, I had a couple games. I didn't get off the field till like maybe 20 after 9. If it's not a fast food joint, good luck finding a place to eat.
Yeah,
everything's closed at 9.
Yeah.
So
and I don't know if that's a reflection on the kind of the quietness of this area, because other bigger cities are different, but I know for sure the venues that we play, we're home early. I have no problem with that. At 60 years old, I'm good with that.
Yeah, right. It is First News Keeler on vacation, a Friday morning. We'll give you a chance to win some tickets to the Herkimer County Fair, which is coming up later this month. In a few minutes, we'll be joined by State Assemblywoman Marianne Buttonshaw. We'll talk about some state issues and what is her final few months as a state representative for our area. That's coming up next. It's First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
You know you want one. A Bad Boys mower isn't just another mower. It's second to none. It's an American-built machine with heavy-duty U.S. steel and shipped straight to Bob's Bad Boys mowers, never sitting around in a warehouse. That means when you're ready to mow, your bad boy is ready to go. And when the job's done, we're still here with expert sales, service, maintenance, and warranty support. Stop by Bob's Bad Boys Sales and Service, 6419 Middle Road in Munnsville. Call 315-264-2781 or visit bobsbadboys.com.
Hold on tight, Central New York. The Utica Stampede Rodeo, presented by Master Vito Chevrolet, rides into town July 31st and August 1st. Bull riding, bronc riding, barrel racing, team roping, and more as top cowboys and cowgirls battle it out in an unforgettable rodeo experience. Don't miss the Utica Stampede Rodeo, presented by Master Vito Chevrolet, July 31st and August 1st. Get your tickets today at uticarodeo.com.
For a number of reasons, Sarah's Flooring Outlet should be on the top of your list for any of your flooring needs. This is Bill Keeler. Reason number one, Sarah's has the area's largest inventory in stock and plenty for you to choose from. Reason number two, Sarah's offers the best in quality floor covering. Top name brands like Shaw, Mohawk, Coratec, Mannington, and there are so many others. Reason number three, Sarah's will meet or beat any locally advertised price. Reason number four, it's service. Decades of experience, starting with Sal and Sarah and everybody, the entire team. You get unbeatable service at Sarah's Flooring Outlet. And remember, you can get 6 months interest-free financing for qualified buyers in Sarah's Flooring Outlet. Unrivaled service and experience, all at an affordable price. Now you see why more people buy from the big store. Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and in sarahsflooringoutlet.com.
Partly cloudy skies, 65 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. It is 7:33. Davey's doing a dance. President Trump is considering withdrawing Todd Blanche's nomination for Attorney General until two Republican holdouts are out of office. On social media Thursday, Trump said he has no objection to temporarily withdrawing the nomination. Cornyn and Tillis are opposing Blanche's confirmation unless the Department of Justice kills a nearly $2 billion anti-weaponization fund. Meanwhile, the president will hold a cabinet meeting at Camp David today. The meeting comes as some Republicans have expressed concerns about the Iran war, with midterm elections less than 100 days away. Trump may also discuss a reported deal to disarm the Palestinian militant group Hamas. Recent cyber attacks on Minnesota water systems may be linked to Iran. U.S. intelligence officials reportedly suspect Iranian-backed hackers because the goal of the attacks appears to be to disrupt services, not to blackmail for ransom payments. An alert has been sent out to local water systems that cyber threat actors are trying to modify passwords. The FDA is investigating a separate cyclosporiasis outbreak not linked to lettuce. Almost 100 cases have been connected to the new outbreak. The current outbreak linked to lettuce has caused thousands of cases with significant GI issues. 9 states are tied to that outbreak. The state of New York is taking the prediction market Kelce to court. In an early Friday release, the offices of Governor Kathy Hochul and State Attorney General Letitia James announced they were suing and called Kelce an illegal gambling operation. James says Kelce is not a licensed gambling venue and lacks age restrictions. And Lollapalooza is underway in Chicago. The annual 4-day music festival kicked off yesterday at Chicago's Grant Park, drawing tens of thousands of fans to see dozens of acts playing on 8 stages there. Last night's headliner was New Zealand pop star Lorde, who had to pause her show a few times after fans in the front row started passing out in the heat. Oh, my goodness. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time, 7:35. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
We are likely getting back into a little bit of wet weather after some yesterday, but I think it's going to hold off here likely until, let's say, Saturday night. Today, some fog. Could be lowering visibilities this morning, then developing sunshine. Not bad for your last day of July. Low 80s. Tonight, 60. 50s Adirondacks. Partly sunny tomorrow. 85. Best day of the weekend easily because showers are likely, maybe a thunderstorm on Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, partly cloudy and 65 at 7:36. Biddy, you want to read some comments?
We are lucky to wake up every morning and be able to try to make things better one step at a time. That was Jawick. And he says, I like this style of radio. What about Davey? He runs the show. No words for Davey. Davey is the best. Davey's in the Navy. Love Davey. Davey's so honest, so no BS.
So what else you got to say, Davey? They want to hear more from you.
Davey's been writing all those comments for the last 20 minutes.
No, I haven't. I don't have anything to do with YouTube. No comment on YouTube.
So what about Steve? He wants somebody from the to return. Go ahead, read it.
We need Megan back. At least she was nice to look at. Bill said WIBX was cutting back. Then they hired Jeff.
Megan was really cute. Am I allowed to say that? I don't think I am.
Yeah. I guess.
Good morning. Lance, don't forget the rogue county executive that thought he was Fauci Jr. making up and enforcing his own mask mandates that weren't necessary. Gee, I wonder if the audience remembers that. Do you remember that?
I don't. I don't recall that. I thought they were going with guidance from.
Yeah, me too. Lance will fill us in. We'll take a quick time out and come back with more. Assemblywoman Mary Ann Buttonshaw in studio next on WIBX.
At Community Memorial, we're committed to your good health, and we're proud to offer primary care service that's close by with 6 family health centers throughout the area. Maybe you don't have a primary care doctor right now. Call us, and definitely call if you're managing a long-term condition and you're not getting the personal attention and support you need. We're here and we're ready to help, offering compassionate care, guidance, and support for patients of all ages. And at Community Memorial, we're one big team, so you'll have fast access to additional services and specialists when needed. That's first-class community health care, right in your backyard. We have family health centers close to you in Cazenovia, Hamilton, Waterville, Morrisville, Munnsville, and Sherrill. And we're welcoming new patients throughout the area. For a better primary care experience, choose a team that's highly rated for patient satisfaction. Choose Community Memorial and get better.
Windows down, music up. Summer officially starts when you're driving a new Chevy from Steed Ponte Chevrolet in Herkimer. This month, score 0% financing on select 2026 Chevy Trax, Equinox, and Silverado models. Looking for the perfect summer SUV? Lease a new Chevy Equinox LT all-wheel drive for just $329 a month. Or if your summer plans call for a truck, get up to $7,000 off a new Chevy Silverado. Road trips, boat days, backyard projects, wherever summer takes you, get there in a new Chevy from Steed Ponte Chevrolet. These deals are only here through July 31st, so don't wait. Cruise into Steed Ponte Chevrolet in Herkimer today. Stop in and see why it's always easy to do business at Steed Ponte Chevrolet. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. 0% financing available in lieu of select rebates. Equinox lease is 36 months, 10,000 miles per year, plus $4,000 plus first payment, tax and fees due at signing. Customers must have a current lease in the household and qualify for the GM card rebate. Customers must qualify for top-tier credit through GM Financial. Silverado discount requires trade of 2012 Chevrolet GM card rebate qualification, plus dealer discount. See salesperson for complete details. Offer ends July 31st. Must take delivery by July 31st.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-466-9625. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-466-9625. Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
At River Hills Properties, they call it white glove treatment. Service that's not normally provided to customers looking to buy or sell a home here in upstate New York. This is Bill Keeler. My wife and I had River Hills sell our home, and it sold in under a week, but it was more than that. It was all of the things they did to relieve the stress, to serve as a team member for us, and basically get the job done and make it easier for a buyer to come in and understand. That's where the book comes in. It's like a manual for the home. They create all of that. No lockbox. Your listing agent, and for us it was Robin Monjo, your listing agent there every time the house is shown. That's River Hills Properties. And now they have a full-service office in Sarasota, Florida. Think Snowbird. Think River Hills Properties, located in Barneville, Little Falls, in Newport and Rome, and now in Sarasota, Florida. 315-896-1009. Nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, we are back a Friday morning. First news, Keeler on vacation. It's Manaski and Dave Olney holding things down here this morning. Assemblywoman Mary Ann Buttonshaw joining us in studio. There we go. Right over my headphone cord there. You have a special presentation to make in studio this morning for, in fact, our neighbor of many years, I think at least 20, who's celebrating a lot of years in business. 58 years for Steveners?
Absolutely.
Holy cow.
It's very excited, as you stated, one of your great neighbors. And clearly 58 years with Stevener Backhoe Services, Inc. And we actually did the presenting of this resolution with 4 generations of Steveners at 6:30 this morning, right down at Teddy's. So Mr. Stevener was there. Glenn is here with me. Shane is with me. And Charlie was the 4th generation, as well as his brother, Cooper. So this resolution, it was an honor and a privilege to provide this. I'm the chair of small businesses, and clearly 58 years of dedicated service. Mr. Stevener, I would say, has instilled the importance of a strong work ethic. And 6:30 is probably a little late for these gentlemen because they're up and running, and they're right till dark. I saw Glenn taking care of some business out in Clinton this week, and was just wrapping it up so quickly at North Star Orchards. So they are throughout the Mohawk Valley, and that dedication and commitment to me as chair of small business. I thank you gentlemen, as well as your son, your grandson, and your dad for the hard work. And I don't want to forget your sister. So she's a part also, so thank you.
Well, if somebody can, guys, why don't you grab the mic? At 4 generations, unfortunately, we don't see this too much anymore. Oftentimes, the kids sell off the business, and I think we see fewer small businesses. We'll talk to Marianne about that in a second, but anything you guys want to say about the family business and the fact that 4 generations, that says a lot.
Well, the first generation,
Come on down.
The first generation, he wasn't able to make it with us. He was there this morning, but he still had to go to work.
Gotcha. Yeah, he doesn't have time to celebrate.
85 years old. He's,
holy cow, at 85.
He had to go to work.
He told me his back's been sore from carrying you guys around all this year.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. So congratulations, guys. For those who don't know, what do you do? Are you available? Are you booked up for the rest of the summer? And how can they get a hold of you?
Yep. So we are, very busy right now. It's our busy season. But Shane.
Yeah, so we do site development, utilities, and we are obviously very busy right now.
You guys actually laid the electricity line or
the water line.
The water line when we moved to this facility a little over 20 years ago, I guess. Yep. You know what they used to say about this building? There was a couple, like Davey was one of them, where there were some people at the old building which kind of had a dungeon feel to it. And while this building was still under construction, they'd be like, "Oh, have you seen the building? Have you seen the building?" Yeah, it's got these big windows. I've never seen people so excited to have windows in the studio, and they would say, "It's right by the thruway. You can see the cars driving by." Now, you guys know if you look out the window, it's not a whole lot to look at. But again, I think we came from studios that really didn't have windows, and the windows just connected to another room. Uh-oh, Smitty's upset with me now. There you go. Look at that. It's fixed. Extended to another room. So I remember how excited we were to move into these facilities. And again, it was like more than 20 years ago.
I was excited to see these guys more than 26 or 27 years ago when I bought my house. I had a problem with my water line coming in, and the water authority was nice enough to tell me it was my problem. And I called Glenn, and man, I think it was fixed that day. Dug the whole thing up, and we've been friends a very, very long time. And I'll be honest, in this whole region, you say the name Stevener, and now for a 4th generation, and there's nobody that can say a bad word. These guys are absolute professionals, and never without a smile on their face either.
Yeah, definitely the truth. Congratulations, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll take a quick time out and come back with more. We'll take caller 4 right now, 315-736-0186 for Herkimer County Fair tickets. 315-736-0186. We come back with more with Assemblywoman Marianne Buttonshaw on WIBX.
This is Dan from Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, across from Texas Roadhouse. Get years of summer fun for you and your family with a new above-ground pool starting at just $89.99 installed. You can take advantage of our 0% in-house financing. We can have your new pool installed in about 10 days. Don't let the summer pass you by. If an in-ground pool is your dream, the experts at Acme will guide you through the process. There's nothing better than enjoying summer in your backyard with an in-ground pool. Don't miss out on our midsummer sale with above-ground pools starting at $89.99 installed within about 10 days with our in-house 0% financing. Or let the experts at Acme guide you through selecting a custom in-ground pool, choosing from steel or fiberglass options. That's Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, and our midsummer pool sale going on now. We do the work, you just enjoy.
Hold on tight, Central New York. The Utica Stampede Rodeo, presented by Mastrovito Chevrolet, rides into town July 31st and August 1st. Bull riding, bronc riding, barrel racing, team roping, and more as top cowboys and cowgirls battle it out in an unforgettable rodeo experience. Don't miss the Utica Stampede Rodeo, presented by Mastrovito Chevrolet, July 31st and August 1st. Get your tickets today at uticarodeo.com.
The summer sale is on at Mattress Express. Get a king for the price of a queen for the price of a full, and a full for the price of a twin. Ask how to get upgraded to an adjustable base for free. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, we are back. First News Keeler on vacation. It is 7:50, and Lance is chiming in. I don't know if Lance has been on vacation, but I don't know if you know this, Marianne. He's a big fan of yours.
Oh.
He is, and I can't say that about too many people with Lance. That's the truth. Ask Marianne if it's too late for her to reconsider. With the 2 bozos currently running and the other current state representatives we already have, we're doomed if she leaves.
Well, thank you, Lance. Clearly, I appreciate that. I look at this in a sense that many positions can be carried on by many individuals. As we know, Dave will be transitioning, and I've laid a strong foundation. No pun intended with the Steveners here, but they're used to doing that. But clearly, thank you, Lance.
So, what is the last few months going to be like?
Trying to get the money out the door is my most significant aspect. Last night we were at the Boonville Fair. They needed some help, so I was able to secure some funding for them. The most difficult aspect of state funding is the paperwork.
Yeah.
And we have quite a significant amount of funding that I want to make sure that each one of the municipalities as well as nonprofits are able to utilize this money. And we're trying to help everyone. We're going to do a seminar next week just to make sure that with the state paperwork, as it becomes a burden. What I have found is most of the nonprofits are working boards. So they're just doing the work. They're not individuals that are involved in paperwork. And that's where they need the guidance and help.
I'll echo that. I know Marianne got a $100,000 grant for the Law Enforcement Coalition in Oneida County, which I'm the chairman of, and it's for recruitment, retention, and training, and it's much needed, and that's another really good thing you brought to the area.
I guess I'll call her out by name. Kathy Hochul, I don't think she made the job of recruiting law enforcement easy in the corrections office or in the police department. And it's something I guess we're seeing in Utica that they're having a bit of a hard time. We recently talked about them wanting to at least temporarily suspend the residency requirement as a way to maybe open up the pool of candidates. Law enforcement is vital to our state because, as you were talking during the break, we don't have much without public safety, right?
Right. And I think that I met with the chamber, and any economic development must have a strong foundation of an understanding of public safety. But please understand that public safety includes our fire, EMS, as well as law enforcement. as we speak to the Steveners, not only do they run a great business, but they're with the Maynard Fire Department and their services that are provided. And when you look at any mission of a fire department, it's about people and property safety. So if you were going to invest in a small business, you want to make sure your property, as well as those that are coming in as customers or your employees, are safe. And we have to include this important aspect. So as you say, as I close, I'm working with my colleagues to remind them of how important this is, that economic development will not move forward. Nothing will move forward if someone doesn't feel safe.
And you do a big celebration and recognition of first responders. If I remember, it was in the fall, right? It's in the fall coming up.
So we have, yes, Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, where we ask folks to stop by. We also have not only at the national but state level first responders, again, that would include our fire service, EMS. And it is critical. It is something that is so important. Oh, we have Ian here too. Great. I'm so excited. So the Stevener crew is complete now.
And Jeff, you mentioned the issues with law enforcement and recruitment and retention and trying to relax the residency requirements and stuff like that. In the fire service, the recruitment and retention there is just as much of a crisis as Brian McQueen was saying the other day. They're down like 30% for membership across the state right now, and it's every bit of public safety is affected.
Yeah, yeah. It's appreciate you guys for what you do in the aspect of being a volunteer firefighters, because again, most communities can't have a paid service, and we need people to respond to fires and emergencies, car accidents, whatever the case might be. And as you say, you can't have much without public safety. So,
and I think that Maynard is a combination now, right? You have also individuals during the day as you're all working.
They do 10-hour shift. So.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about small businesses. Chair of the Small Business
Committee.
Thank you. I've forgotten since I left. It's important to highlight businesses like Steveners. We see fewer and fewer small businesses, it seems, right?
Absolutely. What we're finding is the struggles to maintain, and I think one of you had said that earlier. When we look at 58 years and 4 generations, that is very significant, that, as you had stated, Jeff. And each one of us have a great story about a small business. With the Steveners, as Dave talked about them coming to the rescue. They've come to the rescue to the farm, to my son, so many aspects of how important it is. And the difference is you call a number and somebody answers. And I think that's probably the most significant aspect of the small business. They're here, they're working, they're a part of the community. You see, not just within the Maynard Fire Department, but so many different aspects that help. When we were bringing one of our war heroes home, each one of them were there, being a part of ensuring the safety of individuals that were watching the motorcycle motorcade that had brought this individual to rest. But what we have found within the state is a new piece of legislation is a registry of different regulations that the state has imposed on them, so that they can just go to one place. Because I will get many calls within the office that, so do I have to do this? Is this a part of my office?
Right.
Is this something that needs to be done? So this is a registry that we're supposed to put on the state to be a part of. You're concerned about what we've done, you just have a one-stop place.
Yeah, that makes it a lot easier because things do change year by year. Mary, you're going to be missed. What are you going to do next?
I'm trying to finish this up, Jeff, and then I'm going to take a breather to look at what I should do. I had a few opportunities, and I was like, yeah, that's great. And then I was like, wait a minute, finish this before you move on.
Donna's going to get full-time supervision.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this, man?
8 years.
So
That'll never happen. You see all the Steveners smiling and laughing. Ian's over there.
Yeah, we all know it's not going to happen. But in that 8 years, we've watched you grow from day one. I've personally been there for the whole thing.
Yes, you have.
And to see what you've brought to this area and the benefits of having you local here, and the things you've done has just been really, really good for the area, incredible. And we want to thank you, and we hope whoever is going to follow in your footsteps is even close to how successful you've been. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
And spend some time with the grandkids. Whatever you decide
Absolutely.
to do, don't
I
forget
do that
about
all the time. Right?
Yes.
Last night, it was great.
Buy Don a new truck, would you?
I don't. Did you see that?
I
saw the truck today.
Smitty, I don't see. There we go. We'll take a quick time out and come back with more. A news update at 8 is coming up. It's First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 beyond Utica.
From the WB Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
It's the next phase for post-war Gaza. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. An agreement President Trump's Board of Peace has worked out with Hamas, though there's no official reaction from Israel.
Hamas appears ready, or at least willing, to lay down their arms as long as Israel agrees to finally leave the Gaza Strip. President Trump has announced this agreement is a critical step towards Gaza finally being governed by a new Palestinian government that will work closely with the Board of Peace to help the Palestinian people. At the same time, Israel will have the security it deserves, with Gaza no longer used as a base for terror attacks.
Fox's Peter Ducey at the White House. We may hear more from the president about this deal nearly 3 years after the Hamas terror attack that triggered Israel's war in Gaza, when he holds a cabinet meeting at Camp David in Maryland at 11 a.m. Eastern. The president may also talk about the Iran conflict. Oil prices have been up slightly this morning. Their surge since the conflict started has made oil companies big profits. Chevron's earnings more than quadrupled last quarter compared to a year ago to $12 billion. ExxonMobil's doubled to $14 billion. There's a border crisis overseas. At least 18 migrants have died as thousands flock to Spain, fleeing Morocco, where police have used water cannons and fired warning shots to prevent crossings into the Spanish territory of Ceuta.
Migrants by the thousands surged by land and sea from Morocco into the territory, swimming or floating on inner tubes from the Moroccan side, while others broke through a gate on land and just ran into the city, with the Interior Ministry vowing to deport those who do cross illegally.
Fox's Kevin Cork. It's been 6 months since Nancy Guthrie was abducted in Arizona. She's still missing.
Pima County Sheriff Chris Nano says a hair sample did not yield a DNA sample of a possible suspect. Local investigators, along with the FBI, sent the recovered sample to a California lab for examination, but came up empty-handed. Investigators are continuing to work and analyze evidence collected in Guthrie's home.
Chris DeMeo, America's listening to Fox News.
If you haven't switched to Pure Talk because you're not sure their coverage is every bit as reliable as Big Wireless, why not take them for a test drive? For a limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited data plan. No contracts, no commitments. Just a great deal on a high-speed network with unlimited data from an American wireless company. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Thousands remain in shelters in earthquake-ravaged southern Japan, where the search continues for anyone still missing in the rubble. The number of confirmed deaths has risen to 34, and there are concerns about hot temperatures making things worse amid fuel and water shortages. In Seattle, an apology for a slow response to Sunday's mass shooting at a food festival.
Mayor Katie Wilson says Seattle police responded quickly and professionally to the shooting itself.
However, our after-action review of the city's communications with the public and the media revealed real gaps.
It took 5 hours to share basic information, including whether anyone was in custody or if this was a targeted attack on the festival. It wasn't.
We are now putting in place processes and protocols to ensure that this does not happen again.
The mayor says she's received and accepted Police Chief Sean Barnes' resignation despite his support from Seattle City Council.
He cares deeply about this work and about this city. That dedication is genuine, and I wish him the best.
3 people died in the shooting, including one of the suspected shooters. Police are looking for others and say they believe there were 2 rival gangs involved. Chris Foster, Fox News.
In Georgia, days after a teenage school shooter got a life sentence, the same judge puts his father behind bars.
Barrow County Superior Court Judge Nicholas Prim sentencing Colin Gray to 15 years in prison.
It is clear you failed as a parent.
The 55-year-old was found guilty of murder and manslaughter charges for buying his son Colt the AR-15 style rifle the 14-year-old ended up using to fatally shoot 4 people at Appalachia High School in 2024. Prosecutors say he also left the gun unsecured in their home despite warnings the teen was a danger to others. The father's sentencing comes days after his now 16-year-old son was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole after pleading guilty to all 55 charges in the attack that killed 2 students and 2 teachers and injured several others. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising that after a big surge lifted the Dow and the NASDAQ more than 600 points. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Cloudy skies, 68 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. News time is 8:05. This news update is brought to you by Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. A planned security search conducted by officers at Mohawk Correctional Facility led to the seizure of 17 inmate manufactured weapons, multiple pieces of drug-saturated paper believed to contain synthetic narcotics, and some gang-related material. That, according to the COs at the Marcy Correctional Facility. Among the items recovered, as I mentioned, 17 inmate manufactured weapons, ceramic blades, ice pick type weapons, and a sharpened can lid. Also, gang-related documents and materials, and as I mentioned, the paper saturated with synthetic drugs. All contraband was secured and placed into evidence. The drug-saturated paper will be submitted for lab testing to determine the presence of those controlled substances. Meanwhile, the Syracuse woman who is accused of bringing drugs into Mohawk Correctional Facility is a no-show in court once again. This happened in Oneida County Court after she missed Rome Court earlier this month. Police say they are looking for Chandrea Taylor after being exposed to drugs. 2 female corrections officers wound up hospitalized. One had to be put on a ventilator. Lab testing later revealed the substance in that case was cocaine, ketamine, PCP, or angel dust, along with dangerous synthetic cannabinoids. For the 12th time this year, a tornado touchdown in New York State. An EF0 tornado occurred on Wednesday afternoon in South Brookfield. It happened around 1:54 p.m. The tornado reached an estimated peak of 70 miles per hour, traveling 0.87 miles with a maximum width of 50 yards. You can read more on that story on our website at WIBX950.com. A search continues for a woman who may have last been seen at Turning Stone Casino. Nancy Ryle was last seen at her home in Wilton. She was last seen Sunday, and friends and family think she may have gone to the Turning Stone Resort and Casino. The Saratoga County Sheriff's Office says she was driving a 2015 Toyota RAV4. She's about 5 feet 2 inches tall, 160 pounds, with blue eyes and gray hair. Anyone with information should contact the Saratoga County Sheriff's Office. And former President Barack Obama coming to Colgate University. He'll be there for Family Weekend. The college in Hamilton announcing that Obama will visit on September 18th as part of the Kirshner Family Series Global Leaders at Colgate. Program starts at 6:30. More information about tickets will be shared in the coming weeks. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 8:08. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
We are likely getting back into a little bit of wet weather after some yesterday, but I think it's going to hold off here likely until, let's say, Saturday night. Today, some fog. Could be lowering visibilities this morning, then developing sunshine. Not bad for your last day of July. Low 80s. Tonight, 60. 50s Adirondacks. Partly sunny tomorrow. 85. Best day of the weekend easily because showers are likely, maybe a thunderstorm on Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, partly cloudy skies and 65 degrees. All right, in baseball, the Mets pick up another victory. They've won 4 of their last 5. They took the series opener against the Marlins 4-2. In other news, the sell-off for the Mets has begun. The team sent reliever A.J. Minter to the Twins in exchange for some prospects, Billy Amick and Bruin Agbayani. That name sounds familiar. He's the son of former Mets outfielder Benny Agbayani.
They used to call him the Hawaiian Punch.
The Minter had a 2.35 ERA in 23 innings for the Mets this season. Yeah, he was a fan favorite when he was there. I'll never forget. It's funny, I say I'll never forget, and then I question what I'm remembering. So the Mets played the series opener, I believe it was against the Chicago Cubs, but they played in...
Oh, Japan. Yes, I remember that.
Yes. And I believe he hit a grand slam
Were you doing
in extra innings.
Were you doing the show at the time when they were playing them games?
No,
like
I think I was still in high school.
Oh, okay.
I think I was still in high school.
All right.
But yeah, that was one of those weird things where to see the Mets home opener, you had to get up at like 4:30 in the morning, and they played 2 or 3 days before the rest of the league opened up.
Yep.
But it was, the NFL loves to do this now. They love to play games in other countries. And they were the Mets, I think it was Mets Cubs in Japan.
I don't know what surprised me more, that or you got up at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, you got that right, pal. You're not kidding. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have to look that up to see. I believe it was a grand slam in extra innings, but Benny Agbayani was a fan favorite when he was there with the Mets. Speaking of fan favorites, everybody's favorite, Stefan's on the line now. Good morning, sir.
Well, hello, Jeff and Davey.
And Dave Olney is in studio as well.
Well, hello, Dave Only.
Good morning, sir.
So the Mets, well, let's begin with the Blue Sox.
Yes, the Blue Sox won last night out in Amsterdam. 10-2, they beat a pretty good team, the defending champions, and now they get the right to play Batavia in the championship game.
Very cool. It's going to be a one-game series, though, right?
Yes, because the season has to end by July 31st, and the kids have to get back to college.
All right. The Mets made their first trade yesterday. What do you think?
Well, it was only a matter of time, and they need to start making more trades, I believe.
And you also attended an event that yesterday you wanted to chime in on that you kept on bugging me about?
Yes, the Americans with Disabilities Act anniversary, the 36th anniversary at RCIL, the band Flame played there.
Good. How was the turnout?
It was very good. Sheriff Maceo was there, Marianne Buttonshine, Joe Griffo. It was a good event.
Well, thank you very much for being our man on the street for us.
Yes, you're welcome.
It is coming up on 8:13. I do expect the Mets will make a bunch more moves here in the coming days. I think Simeon might go, and I think Lindor might go. Who's on the line?
Stefan.
Oh, Stefan. Well, Stefan, thank you for the call, bud.
You're welcome, Jeff.
All right, in just a minute, we'll be joined by Tanya J. Powers from Fox News. We'll come back with that next on WIBX.
We think every kid should get started on the right foot or right feet. This is Bill Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM is partnering with Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield to help local kids in need get new kicks for a new school year. We call it Kicks for Kids. Go to WIBX950.com or the WIBX 950 app. Click on Kicks for Kids, and the Neighborhood Center will get the shoes to the kids. It's easy to give. Kicks for Kids from Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield and WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Do not trust what any CEO ever tells you. Do not trust US Mobile just because I'm telling you. My name is Ahmed Khatak and I'm the founder of US Mobile. US Mobile invented this technology that lets you share data across any of the 3 networks in America. There's more coverage than any single carrier in America because we give you all 3 of them and let you switch between them anytime. Our cheapest plans start as low as $5. They go up to $44, but that $44 plan gives you unlimited priority data in America and keeps you connected in more than 160 countries abroad. US Mobile offers a 30-day free trial. US Mobile has no contracts. We don't lock you down. And over 1 million customers seem to like it. We're a top-rated carrier by Consumer Reports. US Mobile is Wirecutter's top cell phone plan. All I'm asking for anyone who's listening to this is just Google US Mobile. Just go to US Mobile subreddit. Just search for US Mobile and make a decision for yourself. If you're ready, visit usmobile.com.
Consumer Reports does not endorse products or services.
The summer sale is on at Mattress Express. Get a king for the price of a queen for the price of a full, and a full for the price of a twin. Ask how to get upgraded to an adjustable base for free. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is now accepting new patients. This is Bill Keeler. It is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic. And right now, the Falcon Clinic is accepting new patients. Since adding some new physicians, a new physician's assistant, including Dr. Cheryl Mattern, they're now accepting new patients. Just call 315-507-4751. And yes, it is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, which means they do more. They look deeper. And your appointments are not in and out on your way. You're going to be with the doctor as long as you need to be with the doctor. And if your appointment is at 2 o'clock, you're in shortly thereafter. You're not going to sit around for an hour and a half. That's big. It's the Falcon Clinic. Dr. Kosminski, Dr. Mattern, Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shemaleski, all under one roof. The Falcon Clinic. Call 315-507-4751.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, it is 8:15. Joining us now on the phone is Fox News Radio's Tanya J. Powers. The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, I can't even say it, Wienermobile turns 90 years old, and there's going to be celebrations going on across the country. I'm surprised they didn't bust this out earlier. Summer's almost over, as we were talking.
Yeah, well, I mean, they usually drive them around in June and July. That seems to be the main season for a lot of the hot doggers, as they call them, because that's what their name is when they hire these folks like out of college to go drive around this fleet of 6 of the Wienermobiles. So they're all over the place. And by the way, if you're ever wondering, if they're near, where you are, you can look on their website. They have a tracker that tells you which events, the Wienermobiles are going to be at, which cities and things like that. So that's kind of a cool thing as well. But yeah, it turns 90 this year. In 1936, Carl Meyer, who was the nephew of the company's founder, goes into Uncle Oscar's office and he's like, so I've got this idea for a 13-foot metal hot dog on wheels that, rolls around Chicago and tells everybody about the hot dogs. Apparently he got the green light and designed the first one, and it has been a thing ever since.
So, you know what always disappointed me about it, though? It should roll around like the ice cream truck, selling ice creams and selling hot dogs.
Yeah.
How do they not have... I mean, really?
You can't get
it does not. They do not carry hot dogs in there to hand out. They do, I think, carry whistles, the little Wienermobile whistles that you've probably seen. They do apparently have those to hand out. at some of their events. So you can get that. But no, it is, I'm with you. I think there should be some sort of Wienermobile just specifically for that, but there is not, sadly.
That sells hot dogs, yeah. It's crazy that it doesn't.
But can you name another advertising tool that's been around 90 years?
No.
That's incredible.
Well, it's 90 years for the company or the Wienermobile itself?
90 years for the Wienermobile, because in 1936 was when he had the idea for this.
Holy cow. Yeah. All right, Fox's Tanya J. Powers, thank you so much. I hope you have a great weekend.
Sure, you too.
Not only should they be selling hot dogs out of there, but what did you just take a picture in front of?
The Planters Peanut Mobile, because the local girl who was working there for the next year was originally from Oriskany, and she brought a crew up. I believe the other lady was from Philadelphia, and then the other lady was from Texas. They're touring the U.S. doing a promotional tour, and she brought the Peanut Mobile to the Oriskany Farmers Market.
It's the same thing.
Were they giving away peanuts?
Yes, they were.
Yeah, see?
See?
Wiener, Oscar Mayer's a little behind the 8 ball here, I think.
They had,
give them another 90 years.
They were giving out honey roasted peanuts, salted peanuts. It was awesome. They gave out little stickers of the Planters Peanuts himself, and they even gave out stickers of the Planters Mobile.
Yeah.
The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, it's been in the region this summer because I've seen people post it. I can't remember where, but it has been in the region.
It's been in the Syracuse area.
Yeah,
I've seen it posted as well. So a couple things here.
See right there.
Yeah, this was Davey. I don't know. Can you hold it up to the camera? Oh, look at that. Marianne Buttonshawn was there with you also.
Yes, she's the one that sent me the picture, and that's the local
Planters Nutmobile,
and that's the local girl from Oriskany.
Wow, that thing's like a giant RV.
It's nice inside. I even got inside to look at it. It's awesome inside.
So what she won a promotion, or they hired her to drive it around?
She's working there for a year.
Inside the mobile?
Yeah, driving it around to these different locations.
That's kind of fun.
It's got to be kind of like driving the FedEx truck. It's probably pretty cool for a little bit. Then after a while, you're like, I don't want to see another peanut.
You know what? That's probably true to some extent. Although, for a lot of people, I think they retire and it's their dream to get an RV and just drive around the country.
Yeah. The good thing about that is you probably get to meet so many people and so many people going nuts over your car, and that's got to be pretty. I made a joke going nuts over your car. I didn't mean to do that. Dana's probably cringing right now.
Quickly, I want to get back to this law enforcement. We briefly touched on this when Assemblywoman Buttonshawn was in. I see a story here in the news today. As a matter of fact, there's two of them. One is from Niscoba. It talks about a search at Mohawk Correctional Facility, 17 inmate manufactured weapons. I guess the number sounds like a lot to me. I'm not surprised they found weapons and drugs, to be honest with you. The search was conducted as part of the ongoing security operation inside one of the facility's dormitories. 17 inmate manufactured weapons. They included ceramic blades, ice pick style weapons, and a sharpened can lid. Also some what they're calling gang material or communications. And then the pieces of paper saturated with synthetic drugs. This is becoming an issue. And as a matter of fact, the next story I have in the news is earlier this year, I believe, it was in the spring, two COs had to be taken to the hospital after they were exposed to something. The woman who allegedly brought that drug-soaked paper into the jail is now...
She's in the wind.
She's in the wind. Yeah, I don't want to say missing because I'm sure they'll be able to track her down at some point. But
when you mentioned that my brain immediately went to the failure of some of the supposed reforms, and one of those is the bail laws. There was a need for some reform, but this is a case of another case where if this person was either held on a significant amount of bail, they would have had some incentive. But we just give them a piece of paper and tell them, please come back at a later date, and then you never see them again.
Yeah, it is. It has changed quite a bit. And we talked about COVID. I mean, this was another thing in the last 6 years that if you had said this, it would be this way, or that the law would change this way in 2018, you'd probably go, no, I I don't see that happening. That sounds pretty drastic, but that is kind of the case right now. And I also, there was a candidate yesterday. As a matter of fact, I happened to be clicking around on Fox News on the TV channel, and they were highlighting this woman who is a Democratic Socialist of America, and I think she's one of the higher ranking individuals. She's running for office. She was talking about closing all prisons. I don't know how would we do that?
Yeah, we could do it, but then your quality of life is going to be zero. You know,
What would the repercussion be if you robbed a bank, if you stabbed somebody?
There has to be a repercussion. There has to be a consequence. If there's not a consequence, what is the disincentive to do things? You know, and it's a matter of the old story of the kid keeping his finger in the dike to keep the dam from breaking. You know, and that's the dam is going to break if you don't have any repercussions. You know, civilized society counts on people following the rules. If they don't follow the rules, there's repercussions. And if there are no repercussions, what's the incentive? And it's just it's not going to be a place you're going to want to live. You know, your things being stolen, you know, people getting beat up and assaulted, and it's just, you know, I'm all for freedoms. You also got to follow the rules, and if you don't follow the rules, then there has to be some consequence.
I don't know. I don't know who supports that agenda. Don't they realize that also that their lives would be in jeopardy, their families, their kids?
I don't understand it. I really don't. And like you said a minute ago, in 2018 or 2015, or if you'd have said that this was a thing or going to be a thing, I'd have told you were crazy. And there's people that think it's a great idea.
Another story on our website this morning, another tornado touching down in central New York, the 12th in New York this year. The National Weather Service now confirming that a tornado touched down in central New York. As I say, it's the 12th time. The latest twister happened in South Brookfield in Madison County on Wednesday afternoon. According to the National Weather Service, it was rated an EF0 with estimated peak winds of 70 miles an hour. It lasted just 2 minutes. The tornado touched down around 1:54. It was on the ground for about 2 miles, lifting near Morgan Road. Even though it was on the weaker side, it still left behind a trail of damage. Survey crews found broken tree limbs, an uprooted hardwood tree, damage to a sawmill, and a couple of sheds that had been tipped over with debris scattered across the property there. You can see more about that story and all of the tornadoes that have happened in New York so far this year on our website at WIBX950.com. We have Cattaraugus County, actually two of them, St. Lawrence County, Cortland County, Yates County, Otsego County, Broome County, Westchester, Shenango, and Madison County. I know the city of Rome is glad that there's no listing of Oneida County this year.
Right. I think last year and the year before there was close to a record number of tornadoes. So you know, you hear about them. I don't think they're as rare as we'd like to think, especially these small ones. I think they're better at classifying them and locating them. And we'll have to ask Bill Carlos if the solar farms are.
And then let's go to our man, Uncle Smitty, because YouTube wants to hear from Davey.
Okay, what do you want to hear?
I don't know. What are you doing this weekend? They want to hear you talk. The other thing is Cully. They say we kicked Cully out or something. He had stuff to do this weekend.
Yeah.
He's actually broadcasting from
he's doing
the Yukon golf tournament, right?
Yeah, today.
He's doing his podcasts and he's on the road. Okay. Anyway, go ahead, Smitty.
What am I doing this weekend?
Yeah, what are you doing this weekend?
Making the trek up to Chief Only's territory to see John Morgan on Saturday night up at the Boonville Fair.
Okay, this is like your fourth time up this week.
No, this will be my second time.
Smitty's a regular up there.
Yeah, well, I thought you went Tuesday for the opening ceremonies.
I went to opening ceremonies for Carl for the exhibition. Was it the exhibition hall, Dave? They or the building?
Was it the
Kiwanis building?
Yep.
They dedicated to the family.
The trainer hall.
Dave was up there, and then Tuesday night I went back up and watched the parade, and then tomorrow.
I thought it was Wednesday.
No, I was going to go up and watch wrestling, but with the torrential downpour, I didn't want to sit and watch wrestling from the grandstands. I'd rather be up and close and watch it, like standing on the track.
So, and then you're excited for SummerSlam this weekend.
I won't be able to watch Saturday night because, unfortunately, the concert. But I'll be, when I'm the person I'm with, I'm going to be kind of checking my details up on the phone instead of maybe listening to the concert. But I'll watch it when I get back.
Has it changed a lot since McMahon's gone?
Yeah, because it's owned by TKO. UFC's involved company now.
So, but I mean,
Nick Khan and Triple H are running the show.
Interesting. Okay,
well,
so
Triple H is Vince McMahon's
son-in-law.
Son-in-law. You know that.
Yeah, I don't get it anymore. The whole thing changed, and then there's multiple ownership changes, and what SummerSlam is this? This is like 30 years running, right?
The only reason why they're doing SummerSlam for 2 nights is because 2 of their main stars are from Minneapolis. Brock Lesnar.
He's still wrestling?
Yes, he's winning the main event tomorrow. What Willie said, that's why Willie said Oba Femi is going to be winning. They're in a steel cage.
Okay, and he's wrestling who?
Oba Femi.
I have no idea who that is, but I know Brock Lesnar from like his MMA days, and then before that he was in wrestling, right? And then he was with the Vikings before that.
Yes, they're saying that this is a retirement match for him, but all these rumors on these internet websites saying he could go for one more ride.
Well, it's just like Mike Tyson coming out of retirement if you pay him enough money, they'll definitely compete again.
So it's 2 nights. They're doing it at the Minnesota Vikings football stadium.
It is 8:29. We'll break, come back with news. First news, Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Hurt in a car? Call William Matar. 315-444-4444.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
Hold on tight, Central New York. The Utica Stampede Rodeo, presented by Mastrovito Chevrolet, rides into town July 31st and August 1st. Bull riding, bronc riding, barrel racing, team roping, and more as top cowboys and cowgirls battle it out in an unforgettable rodeo experience. Don't miss the Utica Stampede Rodeo, presented by Mastrovito Chevrolet, July 31st and August 1st. Get your tickets today at uticarodeo.com.
This is Bill Keeler, and I have to tell you, my family relies on New York Sash, and we have several times when it comes to home improvement, and so have so many members of our family. And right now, there's an awesome time for you to take advantage of what New York Sash has to offer with their America 250 sale as they celebrate America's 250th with an amazing opportunities here. Right now, when you buy 2 windows, you'll get 1 free. 4 get 2 free. 10 get 5 free. The list goes on. There's no limit. Plus, you'll save 50% off expert bath installation. And here's the biggie. This is huge. Qualified buyers can receive 0% financing for 25 months, making it easier for you to do it now and not use the maybe next year excuse. It's time to do it now. It's New York Sash. Go to NewYorkSash.com for details. Call them 624-7344 or visit them on Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro. New York Sash.
We have partly cloudy skies, 69 degrees. It is 8:32. Some Israeli officials are reportedly concerned about the new deal with Hamas. President Trump writing on Truth Social Thursday that his Board of Peace has reached an agreement that would involve the complete disarmament of the Palestinian militant group. Israeli officials are concerned, however, that Hamas is not seeking a genuine commitment to disarm, but rather a tactical reprieve from mounting financial pressure. President Trump says he may hold off on Todd Blanche's nomination for Attorney General until 2 Republican senators are out of office. Cornyn and Tillis, they're both opposing Blanche's confirmation unless the Department of Justice nixes a nearly $2 billion anti-weaponization fund. Elon Musk reportedly planning to spend $100 million to help Republicans in the upcoming midterm elections. The tech billionaire has reportedly authorized his super PAC to spend money in at least 8 states to help the GOP in November. Musk says has been and was a big backer of Trump in 2024. The Lindsay Clancy murder trial continues today in Massachusetts. On Thursday, jurors heard testimony from first responders at the scene of the alleged crime. Clancy claims she was suffering from postpartum psychosis when she strangled her 3 small children at their home in 2023. She is claiming insanity as her defense. Another former NFL player says he has Parkinson's. Former Green Bay Packers running back Amon Green was on the Go Long with Taylor Dunn podcast Thursday, and he said he's living with the terminal disease. The 49-year-old says he was diagnosed over a year ago, but is ahead of most symptoms through medication and proper diet.
Parkinson's can be a deadly disease, Jeff. I lived with someone for almost 27 years that had Parkinson's, and unfortunately it took her and my grandma, and she died.
Sorry, bud.
Yeah, a couple years ago, and my uncle has it right now, and he is taking... See, when my grandma got it, they didn't have all these new medicines for her, and so I know how it is to have someone very close to you that have Parkinson's.
And forecasters predict records will be broken across the West this weekend as an extreme heat dome turns up temperatures from Arizona to Montana. Temps are expected to be up 20 degrees above normal for this time of year. Southwest cities like Phoenix and Palm Springs could get close to 120 degrees. Death Valley could hit 126.
Wow.
It's a dry heat, though.
It's definitely.
Yeah, my mom called my aunt the other night to see how things were going because we had a death in our family. And she told us about it.
Geez, Smitty, this is bad news.
So, my mom goes, "How's the weather out there?" My aunt says it's 116 degrees. So I was out, and she says, "I just got off the phone with your aunt." I said, "Oh yeah, what was new with her?" First thing she said, "It's 116 degrees." So my aunt was out here about a month ago to come visit, and she said it was great to be here because it was 70, 80 degrees. She's originally from here, so she's been out in Arizona for the last 6 years. She retired and moved out there. She says just a dry heat, but she loved it when she came here last month.
It gets that warm out there, they can't even fly in and out of the airports.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the air density is so thin that the aircraft can't get lift, and you'll see the flights are cut right down to nothing because they can't fly. They got to reduce their weight. It's crazy.
I remember when I went to Vegas a few years ago. This was before COVID, and we landed like at a 12:30. There, our time, it was like 8:30 out there. I get off the plane. I had a hoodie on.
They get punched in the face.
Yeah, it was like 90. It was like 89 degrees when I landed at 12:30. Because when I left Syracuse, it was cold. So I said, I'll just leave my hoodie on the whole flight. And then my connecting flight was delayed, so it was delayed an hour and a half. I was in Cincinnati, Ohio, so I was sitting in the airport. So I left my jacket on, and I said, I'll just fly with it on. My buddy says, you might want to take that jacket off. It's going to be a little warm, because he's a big-time Las Vegas follower, and not a gambler, but he likes the shows. So I was just going out, and he said, you might want to take that hoodie off. So as soon as I got off that plane, holy smokes.
Different world.
Yeah.
It's hot. Right now, we have 69 degrees. Not going to hit 126 today here. Here's your forecast.
We are likely getting back into a little bit of wet weather after some yesterday, but I think it's going to hold off here likely until, let's say, Saturday night. Today, some fog. Could be lowering visibilities this morning, then developing sunshine. Not bad for your last day of July. Low 80s. Tonight, 60. 50s Adirondacks. Partly sunny tomorrow. 85. Best day of the weekend easily because showers are likely. Maybe a thunderstorm on Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
It is 8:37 at WIBX.
You know
know you want one. A Bad Boys mower isn't just another mower. It's second to none. It's an American-built machine with heavy-duty U.S. steel and shipped straight to Bob's Bad Boys mowers, never sitting around in a warehouse. That means when you're ready to mow, your bad boy is ready to go. And when the job's done, we're still here with expert sales, service, maintenance, and warranty support. Stop by Bob's Bad Boys Sales and Service, 6419 Middle Road in Munnsville. Call 315-264-2781 or visit bobsbadboys.com.
People of all ages can experience any level of discomfort for knee pain, hip pain, back pain, and you know what? It could be stemming from your feet. This is Bill Keeler. The Good Feet Store is here to help, and there are so many that swear by these inserts that go into your shoes and make all the difference in the world when it comes to pain. It's a 3-step system: strengtheners, maintainers, and relaxers. There's a whole program that you follow, and it could very well change your life when it comes to pain. It's called the Good Feet Store. No obligation. You can walk right in for a free fitting and test walk. No appointment is needed. You can walk right in. They're located now in New Hartford at 4630 Commercial Drive in New Hartford. Get directions, make an appointment if you like, ask questions, 315-999-3910. It's the Good Feet Store, 315-999-3910.
Rev up for the 7th annual Purple Heart Veterans Car Show, Saturday, August 8th at FT Proctor Park in Utica. From 10 to 3, check out an incredible lineup of cars, trucks, motorcycles, and Corvettes, all supporting CNY Chapter 490, Military Order of the Purple Heart. See a tank and personal carrier up close. Watch a robotic dog demonstration. Enjoy food trucks, raffles, door prizes, and more. Vehicle entry is a $10 donation. The first 100 entries receive a souvenir coffee mug, and trophies will be awarded by popular vote. Bring the family Saturday, August 8th to FT Proctor Park. Learn more at purpleheart490.com.
This is Dan from Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, across from Texas Roadhouse. Get years of summer fun for you and your family with a new above-ground pool starting at just $89.99 installed. You can take advantage of our 0% in-house financing. We can have your new pool installed in about 10 days. Don't let the summer pass you by. If an in-ground pool is your dream, the experts at Acme will guide you through the process. There's nothing better than enjoying summer in your backyard with an in-ground pool. Don't miss out on our midsummer sale with above-ground pools starting at $89.99, installed within about 10 days with our in-house 0% financing. Or let the experts at Acme guide you through selecting a custom in-ground pool, choosing from steel or fiberglass options. That's Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, and our midsummer pool sale going on now. We do the work, you just enjoy.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, it is First News Keeler in the morning, WIBX. Bill is back Monday?
Supposed to be.
Is that right?
If everything goes well. Remember that one year he came back, he got sick, got COVID?
I think everybody's going to be happy when Bill comes back. I know many of the commenters on YouTube will
I know, I sure will.
They've had enough of me anyway.
I know, I sure will be.
Yes, I certainly will be as well. So, Dave, you wanted to mention something. Your significant other.
Yeah, she's going to kill me, but whatever. I'm used to it. She should be used to it, too. So I was just thinking, all the different things that happen in this area, and we were talking to Brian McQueen last week about all the different events and how awesome this region is, and we're involved in a lot of those things, and you never notice the photographer. If it's a good photographer, they're not part of the picture, and they're always in the foreground or the background, but you never notice them. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Dana. She was chief for Marianne years ago, and during COVID, our real estate photography business really blossomed, and then Dana got into doing full-time photography. She's in real estate now as well, but for River Hills Properties, we're doing a lot of their real estate photography, and she's also done volunteers for so many different events in this area. I mean, if it's happening around here, she's probably involved in it, and she doesn't get nearly enough credit and thank you for this stuff. Most of what she does is donation for these events, and I just wanted to give her a quick shout out for Dana for all the stuff she does, because like I said, it's you're an unseen person, and when another thing you don't see is after the event, the hours and hours and hours that she spends editing and putting together things, and the different things that she's done is just incredible. So I know you're gonna hate me, but too bad.
No, that was very nice of you to say that, and she is a great photographer. As a matter of fact, she's somehow gotten a couple snaps of me at like the Boilermaker finish line, and makes me look good. I don't know how she does it.
She's done the Boilermaker just casually for years and years, and she always had her spot. And this last Boilermaker was her first time actually officially working for the Boilermaker. And she realized that she lost a lot of freedom doing that, because she's now assigned to a certain area, and before she had certain spots she liked doing. But again, just the product she puts out afterward, and she's really incredible at catching real life moments.
So I was setting up on Saturday there at the Boilermaker, and I was just taking equipment out, and I heard somebody say, "Oh, hey, Davey." I looked around. There was Dana. She was waiting for her platform to get. I said to her, "What are you doing here?" She says, "Oh, I'm the official photographer for the Boilermaker. I'm waiting for my platform to get up to where I'm going to be."
Yeah, you know, it's funny. if we're someplace, I always joke I got to get one of those shock collars so I can find her. But if there's a fire department aerial up, and I can't find her, I just know I got to look up now, because she's going to find her way up on something, or the roof of a building, or hanging over the side of the state office building. The one year for the stair climb, look up, and I was like, if only they made a camera that flew, drone, you wouldn't have to hang off the side of the building. But she's a little bit crazy in that regard, but she really does so much for this area, and donates so much of her time and efforts. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Was that for Boilermaker?
Hanging off the building?
Yeah.
That was for the CNY stair climb a few years ago.
CNY stair climb. Getting the picture, this was years ago, but you used to be able to go up on the roof at the brewery and take photos of the after party, and I think a lot of that changed, and they cut it out completely, at least to my recollection, after Boston.
Yeah.
But that was an amazing photo every year.
Boston really made you look at mass events differently, change. Even up in Boonville, we get the parades, the Boonville Fair Parade and stuff like that. We take DPW trucks and we block the streets with them. Before, you put up barricades and trust that people are going to stop at barricades, and now you have to, try to get some kind of impenetrable border. So, but yeah, those shots. I remember the first year I did drone for the Boilermaker. It was the first time they saw that beginning the start line from the air in that way, and it was like arteries all with the blood just flowing back into the veins. Really, really cool perspective. And it's again, one of the things that with Dana and her photography is she sees the stuff that we take for granted, and she's really good about identifying that stuff and like I said, making you look good. So,
which is difficult.
Very talented. She can do that.
Smitty, we have to reach out to the Utica City School District to see if we can get somebody on next week for an update on the situation with Superintendent Christopher Spence. He had requested leave, and I believe that expires today. And it seems uncertain what happens here. Now, of course, tomorrow is August 1st, and many schools go back around September 3rd or 4th. Off the top of my head, I can't remember when Utica is back, but essentially it's a month and a couple days when the kids will be returning to school before Labor Day for most local schools this year.
But they called the emergency board meeting this week, and they all voted 7-0 to have a leave of absence for a school employee. They won't tell who it is.
Is it fair to assume it's him, or to think that it's him?
Could be. A lot of people are saying that it is.
So it's undetermined right now whether or not he's coming back? Is that right?
Right. And plus, he's got the lawsuit up against 2 of the board members and against the school board and stuff.
Yeah, he filed a complaint with the New York State Division of Human Rights. So we have to reach out to some of the board members, see if they'll come on. I reached out to Howard Potter, and he's not.
And Bill reached out to Hobica, numerous times, Jeff, before he went on vacation, and Joe said he's not going to comment on it.
Even in the past, though, if Howard wasn't going to talk about something with us, he would just say, Jeff, I have no comment. I don't know if he's upset with the show or what the deal is, but I've reached out a couple of times, and I haven't gotten any kind of an acknowledgement back. So
could be, too, in his new role, he's got to be a little more cautious, too. I'm just speculating, but
could be.
Prior to him being on the board, he may have been a little more available.
I don't know. Let's see here. It's the last weekend of July. We talked about football. Preseason football begins on Thursday. Spider-Man out this weekend. Smitty, you going?
I won't go this weekend, but I'll probably go in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'm going to be there as well. Somebody, I think it was John Wick, was making fun of me because I said something along the lines of, if you like that kind of stuff. I just meant the, what would you call that? Superhero, sci-fi, not sci-fi, but superhero animation. I don't want to say animation like a cartoon. CGI is the word that I'm looking for, right? Because all these fight scenes are CGI. I mean, I'm into it. If my son's into it, I'll go check it out. But
yeah.
All right, a quick timeout. It is 8:48. First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
This is Dan from Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, across from Texas Roadhouse. Get years of summer fun for you and your family with a new above-ground pool starting at just $89.99 installed. You can take advantage of our 0% in-house financing. We can have your new pool installed in about 10 days. Don't let the summer pass you by. If an in-ground pool is your dream, the experts at Acme will guide you through the process. There's nothing better than enjoying summer in your backyard with an in-ground pool. Don't miss out on our midsummer sale with above-ground pools starting at $89.99 installed within about 10 days with our in-house 0% financing. Or let the experts at Acme guide you through selecting a custom in-ground pool, choosing from steel or fiberglass options. That's Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, and our midsummer pool sale going on now. We do the work, you just enjoy.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal, book telehealth if she feel.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Right now, somewhere near you, a camera snapped your license plate. One of almost 120,000 privately owned traffic cams nationwide. Legal? Yes. And that's the problem. I'm Kim Commando for Incogni. Data brokers collect your personal information, package it up, and sell it to anyone with a credit card. Take yourself off the market at privacykim.com. Most of these cams belong to Flock Safety, a private tech company out of Atlanta. Not the only player, just the biggest. Their cameras scan billions of plates every month. In all 50 states, anyone can record what's visible in public, your car, your tag, straight into Flock's database. Police usually need a warrant to track a specific person, but your daily routine, where you go, when, how often, all anyone needs is a paid subscription. You're not a suspect, you're inventory. They named it Flock for a reason. To them, we're all sheep. That's bad news for your privacy. Join a million folks who get my free newsletter every single day to stay tech ahead. It's 5-star rated. You need this at getkim.com. Thousands of places on the internet, there's a file with your name on it. Inside, your home address, your cell number, the email you only give to people you trust. It knows your medical conditions, your age, how you vote, where you drive, your kids' names, and a lot more. You didn't write it, you can't read it, but anyone with a credit card can buy it. That file is the product of a multi-billion-dollar industry called data brokers. None of it was stolen. Your file is collected, packaged, and sold legally. Every scam call, every phishing text that knows too much about you, someone paid for your file. Last year, Americans lost a record $20 billion to fraud. Scammers didn't get lucky. They got prepared. I did something about my file. I use Incogni. Incogni goes broker by broker and forces each one to delete your file. Those opt-in forms they bury, Incogni finds them. And when your data tries to creep back, and it always does, Incogni wipes it again. Go to privacycam.com right now for an exclusive 60% off.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, back to wrap things up. Some final minutes, final thoughts for the week as we head into the weekend. You heard Kim Commander there talking about flock cameras. We have somebody on the line. We'll go ahead and get this so they don't have to wait. Good morning, Richard. How are you?
Good, Jeff. How's it going?
Good.
Hey, it's been a good time with you while Bill's been away. But hey, I just have quick comments about that. It's funny, the evaluation didn't go well, so now there's a lawsuit. But I'm really kind of surprised. Who does this valuation? I mean, a bunch of elected board members. So evaluation doesn't go well, so now there's a lawsuit. I don't get it. It's kind of like, who determines whether he's doing a good job or not?
Yeah, you would think the board members. I'm not 100% positive if that's where the evaluation came from, but you would think so, right?
Right. So this guy's got a doctorate. I mean, he's a PhD, and a bunch of school board members determines whether he's doing a good job. I find it ironic.
Oh, that's interesting.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the qualifications of these board members are, but I find it interesting. I'm not really sure. I mean, I've seen him on TV a few times. I really don't know how well he's been doing, but it doesn't seem like he's a ball of fire. But at the same token, he's got a PhD. I don't know what the board members do. I mean, I know a few of them are attorneys, but I don't know how they determine what they think whether he's doing a good job or not.
You're essentially saying they're not qualified to make that decision?
I'm not sure, but I don't know how. I haven't heard anything about how they decide whether he's doing a good job or not.
Right.
But I guess that'll all come out in the lawsuit, correct?
I guess it will, yeah.
I'd imagine they have metrics that they look at to determine.
Right. But now there's a lawsuit because of it.
Right.
Right. And now he's going to leave, more likely.
Right. One would think, and I think they voted last week as well not to renew his contract, which is set to expire basically at the end of next school year.
And look at the mess. I don't know. It just seems, they talk about, I've been paying attention to this. I'm in my 60s. I've been paying attention to this now. We laugh about what goes on in the city of Utica. I've been watching this now on and off, not involved in it, but my father was in politics many years. Since I was about 15, he was in politics. And I've watched this for 50 years. And Utica's been the same. It's never changed, whether it be school board, city politics. It's always been the same. And I laugh about what goes on now. It's never changed. Never, ever, ever changed. City politics, the city roads, plowing. It's just amazing. It just goes on and on and on. I don't know if it's ever going to change.
You're cracking me up this morning, Richard.
One comment about, a PhD doesn't mean you're going to, doesn't automatically say you're going to do a good job just because you possess a degree. Either you can have a PhD and be the smartest person in the world and not be able to,
that's true.
Do common sense stuff. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was saying, go ahead, Richard. I guess I'll make the point. Yeah, no, Dave, that's a fair point. But I think what Richard, and obviously we know what he was saying. Like they're highly qualified, has a degree, was hired for the job, and essentially, the board members represent the community in the school district, and you don't need any qualification to do that. And that's not a criticism at all. That's not a criticism at all. It's a lot of hard work, and you don't get paid anything for it. But I just think his point is, like, who would I be to critique. Well, it's a bad example. I don't want to bring it up, but it's a fair point, Richard. Anything else?
I agree.
There's both ways to look at it, though. But I did say I've seen him. I haven't seen him in person, and I've watched him, and I don't know what he's done differently with the schools. I've seen him on TV a little bit, and he wasn't a ball of fire. I mean, I've watched, and he just kind of, meanders about and does what he does. So I have no idea what the criteria is for him to be determined whether he's been performing. So I don't know. So I'll be curious to see how it all turns out.
Richard,
but now, as a result, he's saying that he's, now it's a lawsuit now against the school board because of discrimination. So what a mess.
Richard, I appreciate the call.
I'm going to meander about for a while, too.
Yeah, not a ball of fire. He said that twice. It makes me laugh. That's a funny one. Not a ball of fire. All right, one more thing. We talked football earlier this morning. I was sad to see Amon Green, really durable and steady running back for the Packers, maybe 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. And this follows not long after I found out that Chris Johnson has Parkinson's disease, another former NFL running back from that same generation. It might sound silly, but I wasn't aware of this affiliation with former NFL players and Parkinson's. I was aware of dementia-related issues. I was aware of the CTE, but I don't remember Parkinson's being an issue.
Is there a higher incidence in
Yeah, it's like 4 times higher the incidence if you played football, tackle football, and I think it's just at the college level or higher. And I think those who played in college have, let me see here, I don't want to misquote it. For Parkinson's disease specifically, former professional players exhibit almost 4-fold increase in the rate of mortality. Former players who passed away before the age of 60 had a 12-fold increase in neurodegenerative related health compared to standard population controls, and a 61% higher chance of reporting Parkinson's diagnosis than athletes from non-contact sports. Wow. The NFL does a lot of this awareness. They don't raise any awareness about this,
and not knowing the cause or what the connection is to do that. I mean, and again, I'm not saying that you sign up for that because no one does. But what?
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica.
From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Will Hamas give up its weapons?